world of radio shock jocks, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
Tom Brokaw, NBC Nightly News. Wardrobe.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
What are you doing in death?
I've been hanging a lot with JFK, and he's the life of the party, let me tell you.
Why would he be the life of the party?
At the party, he's the one that goes around with the Doritos, and he fills his head with salsa.
It's time for people to understand these are words. If you don't like them, turn the dial.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Oh, David Chase is a genius.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank
you, David.
That had to be the best season finale I've ever seen.
I want to thank David Chase.
It was, it had every element I was looking for.
His brilliance is second to none. We're privileged to be able to watch what he produces.
Yeah.
Thank you, David Chase. Thank you.
It was fantastic. Well worth staying up for. The perfect payoff for the perfect series. Bon voyage, Sopranos. You went out in true style. I like when things end like that. And you have to kind of figure it out for yourself. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, we're creative people.
Yeah, I'm getting a writer's check. They're sending me a check because I have to figure it out for myself and write my own ending.
Well, we're creative people, but we can't even compete with the creativity of a David Chase.
No.
God, is he brilliant! Ugh. Die.
What was the cliffhanger? There wasn't one.
Die.
Do people stay awake through this?
Yeah.
And I'm just mad that I got pulled back in.
You got roped in.
Well, because I gave up on The Sopranos, I don't know, I guess officially like 2 seasons ago. I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm done with storylines that go nowhere. People that are huge characters and just disappear and they never come back. It's like, I was done with the show. But of course, you got to watch the
finale.
The finale. So I got pulled back in, and of course it ended that way. Like Jimmy said, of course it ended that way.
That
was the way it was supposed to end.
It sucked. First of all, the entire episode was a bore fest. Frank Vincent getting shot was kind of cool, and his, the little comic twist of his head getting run over was interesting.
And then everyone puking at the gas station.
Yeah,
I laughed at that. That
was interesting. I think also,
and we'll be talking to Frank Vincent in about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Paulie and the cat. Paulie's problem with the cat that just kept staring at Christopher's picture was kind of funny.
And creeping him out.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. But the rest of it,
oh, thank God. I'll tell you this much. Thank God we finally got to, get to know what AJ's all about.
AJ a little more.
Thank you, David Chase. Thank you.
Because that's what I wanted in the final episode ever of The Sopranos, is to get to know AJ a little more.
Because AJ before...
Gave a crap.
AJ before last night's episode was on screen maybe a total of 3.5 minutes in eight seasons. So why not spend the last episode of Sopranos focusing on AJ? Holy crap!
After his suicide attempt, which was very good, they should have moved on and kind of kept it focused on what was happening with these wise guys. Even Frank Vincent's hit was uneventful.
I know
what it should have been.
It was very uneventful. There was no build up. If you remember, of course, one of the most famous hit scenes ever was in The Godfather, when Michael walks into the restaurant and does McCluskey and the Turk. I mean, the tension that was building up during that scene, that was a beautifully shot, beautifully written scene. This one was like, hey, Frank Vincent's going to make a phone call. You saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And he gets out. There's no bodyguards. There's no anything. Like, it wasn't realistic enough.
No, because in real life, I mean, that's how it would be. Thank you, David Chase.
Yeah.
Your brilliance is just... Oh, God.
It was so
How about you?
bad.
How about you take the final episode of Sopranos and you share it with your artsy friends in your chateau somewhere? Do you realize you're on HBO, you dope? You're not doing a little art film that 100 people are going to see.
They said
the whole country stayed up last night. We're all tired for that crap.
They shot a bunch of endings. How about you show us a few of them?
How about you?
We'll pick and choose which one we want as the ending, because the one you picked stunk.
And then he doesn't even have the balls to like just end it with them at the diner table, at the table ordering onion rings or eating onion rings.
Oh, they were eating the onion rings, Opie. That's very important to the storyline.
Yeah, I'm sure that symbolizes something in David Chase's world.
I'm sure.
Clogged arteries. What does it symbolize?
Yeah, I think it symbolized like communion almost, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That we should all have our hearts checked. What were you trying to say there? Because we don't know. We're not smart enough to understand you, David Chase.
And there's speculation that this had to do with Tony's conversation with Bobby when they was talking about getting hit.
Yeah.
And Tony says, well, you know, you don't even see it coming and everything just goes black. So they're speculating that's what happened. Tony looked up, got popped in the head, and you pretty much saw it from his point of view from that moment. Everything just went black. That's it.
Wow.
But again, it's just speculation.
But what man had come in? I like the 40-minute parking job with Meadow. That was interesting.
That was so interesting. I'm sitting there going, park the car! Oh, my God, no, cut the wheel the other way!
You know why I was yelling the same stuff Anthony just did? Because I'm looking at the clock going, oh, my God, they're going to waste
3 minutes left.
3 minutes left. Will you park the stupid car?
Park it!
Right, that's exactly what I was doing.
Wait till the DVD extras they show her going in and out of the cones for her driving test. Who gave a crap?
Dude.
Exactly, who cares?
I'm on the couch, and when they were in the diner, like we all heard rumors the final shot was shot in like either an ice cream parlor or a diner.
Yeah.
And I actually got off the couch and got on my knees in front of the TV. I'm like, oh, this is the final scene.
Here it comes.
This is what I heard, that they filmed it in a diner, some getting ready. And, of course, like every other dope in America, when the TV went black, I DVR'd it, and I had to rewind to watch the Frank Vincent hit again.
Yeah.
So in my stupid brain, I'm thinking, because I rewound, I messed up, like, the recording of the show.
That's what everyone
I'm one of those dopes. I really thought there was something wrong with my HBO.
I think there was a collective, you gotta be S-ing me. Because that is exactly what came out of my mouth. First, there was stunned silence. I'm sitting up in bed, and I'm all psyched that something's going to happen. And here's what I thought. I thought Meadow was outside parking her car.
Yeah.
She's going to be a little late to the party there. And during that time, the entire family, through some, bad tactics in the hit, to make sure they get Tony. They have, like, multiple gunmen, bullets flying everywhere. The whole family is just going to end up dead, just in time for Meadow to run in and see her dead family laying there. And then we get 10 years later. And you see Meadow, like, as a doctor or something. The end. I thought anything but what I saw. That screen went black. I said, you got to be S-ing me. And then I'm sitting there. My girlfriend just laughed. She started laughing and just takes, like, her glasses off and rolled over to go to sleep as she's chuckling.
Yeah.
And then I just continued for 10 more minutes. Is that what did I just see? I'm saying, what did I just watch? It was horrible.
It wasn't well done. That would have only been a good ending if they show that he was about to be killed and they don't show the hit. Like, if they ended that with two guys walking with guns.
Definitively, he's dead.
Boom, yeah.
Right.
That wasn't that.
But
she walked into the diner and they had onion rings. That's what happened.
Right.
Well,
onion
you just
rings.
end it like that. You said that.
Onion rings. Okay. God damn, that was great then.
Lord of the Rings? Ring?
Something.
What?
Right. A ring is a circle of life.
Ah.
So it brings back.
That clogs arteries?
Well, yeah. But it brings you back to the beginning. The onion ring symbolizes the whole circle of what the it stunk.
Don't stop believing. And it was actually more boring than the original Journey video. What was that?
I started singing along to the song because I haven't heard it in a while. I'm like, hey, this is cool. Wait a minute. There it is. I'm like, all right, I like this song.
There it is.
Wait a minute. There's 30 seconds left in the episode.
30 episodes. Yeah, pass me another onion ring.
Tony's just going to snort and eat onion rings.
And then, of course, it was don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. And then, whoa, it stopped,
and then
everybody.
It stopped. What?
Wordplay in the music.
Oh, no, he was messing with us with the music all along, like that episode, 2 weeks ago, when the music's over, turn off the lights. See, the music is over.
Yeah.
But they just turned off the lights. Ugh. God.
What the is this? An onion rings. Pass me an onion ring. Look, there's some coming into this place. Are they going to shoot me? What the
And fade to black.
And cut.
The end. Not even fade to black.
Right.
Cut to black.
The end.
Wow.
Well, David Bianculli, or I don't even know how to say his name.
The guy from the Daily News.
After all the hype and expectations about last night's final episode of HBO's The Sopranos, the mob drama series didn't end with a bang. It didn't even end. It just stopped. Sirius creator David Chase, who wrote and directed the finale, apparently chafed over the years at all those people who complain about loose ends on the series not being tied up. Dr. Melfi's rapist, the Russian and the Pine Barrens.
Oh, yeah.
Last night's ending, or lack of one, was a massive passive-aggressive payback, painful and funny at the same time.
Oh, is that what we all deserved? A payback?
For what?
For 7 years of loyalty, of watching the stupid goddamn show, even when it sucked? That's what we deserve? An inside joke so him and his chums can laugh at us?
Yeah, he's in a chateau in France right now.
Is he?
And he's not taking any calls.
He's shacking up?
But
it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was lazy writing. It wasn't good.
It was lazy editing. Anthony was talking about how...
Oh, God. Edited with a chainsaw, that episode. It was so choppy and disjointed. They would go from one storyline to another. They're making up new storylines 10 minutes before the end of the show.
Right.
And it was just hacked together. Like they would show a quick scene with stupid AJ and then go off to... some of the mob story, and then Tony, and then it was cut horribly.
And someone brought up in the office that some of the scenes were filmed in winter, some were in summer.
It's snowing.
Or it looked like it could be summer or spring.
Sitting outside with T-shirts on.
I loved how last week's episode ended with Tony in a bed with a gun. And then this episode, he's out and about.
Yeah. They're all shacked up in the safe house with a gun because they're people looking to kill him. And then, I'm going to go out.
The threat's over, I guess. Like, AJ just, has girls coming over to the safe house because, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And speaking of AJ and the hot piece of ass he was with in the SUV.
Yeah.
That went on fire. Like Anthony said, the least you could have done was, give us a little booby shot.
Show us a little.
How about a little booby shot?
Booby shot. I mean, that was more exciting than the stupid truck exploding. And the way they teased that, the speculation I read last week or the week before, whenever the last episode was, people were like, well, did you see there was a big explosion because you saw this red light shining on AJ's face and he looked shocked at what he was looking at. So I'm saying that terrorists bomb New York and that's how it ends because he sees a big flash of light because you saw it reflecting off his face. And it ends up being his SUV parked in leaves. Nothing. It amounts to nothing.
I was digging the music they played last night, but if I want to dig music, I'll turn my iPod on.
Yeah,
getting to hear a little young Bob Dylan and just Three Dog Night, and then and the radio station. Boy, that radio station's here in New York. I'm sure all morning long they're going to be bragging about how they were part of the season finale of The Sopranos.
Jim Kerr, in the mornings at Q104. Yeah. Congrats to the Q.
Yeah, the Q got a huge
mention. They get a moment in history on the worst season finale ever.
For their jukebox radio station. Congratulations. Run with that, will you? Will you guys? Play it all day.
I mean, MASH. They all went home.
2.5 hour finale on network TV. It was fantastic.
Right.
Guys at a mental institution.
Yeah.
There's a chicken clucking. Turns out it's a woman killed her baby.
Killed her baby to
comedy.
shut it up in a bus. Yeah, that was a great finale. And it ends with them leaving. That's it. Mary Tyler Moore. There you go. Turn out the lights. Take one last look around the newsroom. Sniffle, and you leave. The end.
The end.
Not that. Even Stupid Three's company, they all left that stupid apartment.
Absolutely. While after they scooped John Ritter up off the floor. With Two's company roommate needed.
David Chase went for the Seinfeld ending. Seinfeld, they're just still hanging out in that jail.
They're
somewhere,
in jail, just yapping.
They're just yapping about nothing. Great. Thanks, David.
I don't want to be a pirate.
I'll acknowledge it. You're just a brilliant man.
What a genius.
We should all be just happy that we're in the same world as you, man.
Being lazy and losing the focus and making political statements about that was lazy and it was cheap.
Yeah.
It wasn't what the series was supposed to be about.
It had not. Yeah,
boring.
exactly. And all of a sudden, you're starting a new storyline with AJ.
They said he had to. They had to drag him to the typewriter to finish it. The typewriter. Maybe that's why he should have had a computer.
No HBO.
But they had to drag him to finish writing these because they kept offering him money, and he's just like, I don't want to do another season. So they make him do another season, and he just got completely lazy.
Well, so they should have dragged him to his chateau and said, "You stay here. We'll finish this."
Yeah, we'll finish it.
Thank you. We own the show. We'll finish this.
Last week was such a great episode, like Bobby getting shot, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
There was a climax to it. You cared about what was going on every minute. It was a great episode. And then to fall off with this crap.
This one, I'm a half hour in. I'm watching. It's 9:30, and I'm sitting there going, all right, we're a half hour of all this crap. Now we got to get the half hour of action. And then I found myself going, all right, we got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes is enough time to really tear it up. Tear it up. 15 minutes is fine.
Right.
I could live with 15. I could live with watching 45 minutes of this crap as long as the last 10 minutes.
Right.
10 minutes left. This is going to be one of those conclusions where 10 minutes makes up for a whole 5 minutes. How are they going to fit this in 3 minutes? She's parking the car with 2 minutes left. Park the car! Park the goddamn car! And I said, what? Give me the remote. Something happened. That was the entire episode for me.
Is that the reaction you really wanted? Was all of America going, "What's wrong with my cable?"
No.
Do you realize that there's a bunch of dummies, including ourselves, out there that need a little more than
I don't want to interpret
screen.
things. I hate interpreting things. I don't like having to write the end of a show or a movie.
Right.
There are movies out there that you watch, and then all of a sudden the credits start rolling, and you go, What?
Yeah.
That was that.
And that's when you usually get a guy in a movie theater yelling, "That's BS!"
Yeah, come on!
What movie? Oh, The Village. I said that story. When The Village ended, the guy stands up. "That's it? That's it? Come on! That's BS!" And then the whole freaking audience just starts applauding this guy because everyone was thinking that.
You get all pissed off, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure David Chase, showed that ending to all his pals, and they're all like, "Oh God, oh
dude,
David,
it means so much." I understand.
You outdid yourself this time, my friend.
Is David Chase going to go on a tour to every single HBO subscriber and explain it to him? Is that what's next?
Actually, they're doing a new series. It's called Meadow Uses Regular Unleaded. See, what had happened is this is what you guys are missing.
Wow. Okay.
The whole gas crisis thing, terrorism, because of our Middle East dependence on foreign oil, is because of her awful driving. And if she learns to drive, we'll no longer depend on foreign oil.
If she can parallel park, because she was burning more gas than she should have. Now I understand.
You see how big that space was for her to parallel park?
Come on, park the car. There's 2 minutes left.
I thought the episode was going to end with her getting a ticket because her tire was up on the curb.
Yeah.
It was set up like a hit was about to happen.
Of course.
And then the anticlimax of not the hit. I get doing that if the rest of the episode justified it. But there was no... Like, if he got hit, you would have been like, okay, he's only being hit because it's the last episode. There was nothing in the episode that led you up. There was no tension. That's stupid. No bodyguard. You telling me Phil Leotardo in the middle of an all-out mob war, it doesn't have a bodyguard with
him? He's going to be hanging out with his twin grandkids?
Yeah.
It was lazy. It was a lazy episode.
Very lazy.
Instead of being a finale, just think of it as just another Sopranos episode. It's lazy.
Yeah, it's an episode that should be followed up with another crappy episode, but it won't be.
Right.
That's pretty much it. It's like the old show Dallas. It's like, oh, who shot JR? That was the season finale. That's it. We don't know.
Right.
Imagine if they ended Dallas like that instead of the next season coming back and actually going into who did it. You know, those famous cliffhanger season finales, not series finales. And then they come back the next season, and you find out what happened.
I thought it should have been AJ that shot him, basically saying, look, he can control everything around him as far as the mob goes, and he even has the feds under his control, but he can't control his own family.
Very good.
AJ should have been a script supervisor. That was terrible work.
Yeah.
A terrible job last night, man.
But they had onion rings.
Oh, and his car explodes. My God. Because of a possible mob hit? No. Because of a marijuana cigarette.
And they teased that. Yeah. They teased it last week where they showed that scene, and you're thinking, oh, man, the SUV's blowing up. There's a big, that was a hit.
Yeah.
They put a bomb in the vehicle.
Well, this is what some of the people on the streets are saying.
This is the scene everybody will talk about today, and TV critics and historians will talk about for years to come. The last minutes of the 8-season-long series, The Sopranos.
The worst episode ever.
Why?
The ending. It left you in a cliffhanger. It's the worst.
I thought my cable went out, really. That's what my brother thought,
Right, his brother thought that, he thought that, and look, they were by no means the only ones. Many people saying they thought something had gone wrong with their reception. Not the case. It was just the end of the show.
I got a phone call from Kenny, one of the members of the Philly crew, and he's like, dude, I'm hearing that there's 6 different finales or endings, 6 different endings, and depending on what time zone you're in, it's going to be a different ending across America.
No,
he's right. Actually, on the West Coast, he and his family were eating fries. In the Midwest, they had celery sticks dipped in ranch dressing.
and if you're in the Buffalo area, they were eating buffalo chicken wings. Just trying to keep them nice and local.
Yeah, local.
Sure. Ugh. But there you have it, man.
Really badly done.
Yeah.
Plenty of people here in North Jersey where the show was filmed commenting that perhaps this is the end going to a beginning. That is maybe a movie in the works.
Like an onion ring.
We'll just have to see.
All right. Well, we do live in the world of the sequel, Shrek 3, this 3, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Thank you, James.
Sopranos 3?
Yeah,
what is she talking about?
Series, you idiot.
It's a series.
We live in the world of the sequel.
The sequel? What is she talking about?
Here's a great season finale. Probably one of the best ever. Bob Newhart waking up from his Newhart show.
Oh, yeah.
He did the Newhart In show, and then he wakes up and he's in bed with Suzanne Plachette from the original Newhart.
From the original Newhart show.
Craziest dream.
That was an amazing, brilliant, funny ending to a show.
Because Newhart wasn't a snot who thought he was above his audience and who was trying to prove, like you said, how brilliant he was.
Right.
He was doing his job, and being brilliant was what made him great, as opposed to trying to show everybody how smart he was.
Although, for some reason, Suzanne Plachette was like, oh, just go back to sleep, Bob. Like something happened to her voice between the old Newhart and the ending of that one.
Yeah, I think throat cancer.
Bob, go to sleep. I'm in bed with a tranny.
Right. All right, we got to take a break. Let's go to the phones and see what people thought of the final episode of The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
877-212-5762. We got lots to do today. It's Opie and Anthony.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show. 92.3 K-Rock.
Hey, I want to acknowledge Philly this morning. It's Opie and Anthony.
Hey, Philly.
I was driving around Philly all weekend long. I went and saw Brian Regan at the Tower Theater, and our old friend Paul Mercurio, he warmed up, and he did a great job. The show itself was really, really good. And I was listening to WISP, one of the stations we're on in Philly, and they did a great job pumping our Own A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour.
Oh, yeah?
Own A Trivia, pretty much giving away tickets every hour all weekend long. The jocks sounded great. The music sounded great down there. Just want to acknowledge and want to thank the whole staff at WISP. They did a great job. And they didn't know I was in town. I was kind of undercover, just kind of lurking in the shadows. But I was listening all weekend long to you guys. And bravo. Bravo!
What do you think if they knew you're in town? They were like, "Oh, Opie's here. We better change everything we're doing. Run more promos."
Well, maybe. I think some of the stations, if they knew we were coming to town for something, they would kind of maybe hype it a little differently. But no, this is what they were doing this weekend. I was very, very impressed. Of course, the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour pretty much kicks off this Saturday. We did one in Vegas just as kind of a tryout with the new lineup of comedians and some of the other stuff we're going to be doing on the stage. But Jones Beach Saturday, can't wait. Tickets still available through Ticketmaster.com. We ran a $10 ticket special on Friday.
Yep.
And we checked for the hell of it online today, and for some reason you can still get tickets for $10. I think they're going to get rid of that off their website very, very soon, so you might want to jump on and get a few $10 tickets today.
Take advantage.
And you can go to our MySpace account, Virus Tour, one word, Virus Tour, for all the info, but beyond excited. Sponsored by Bud Light. Always worth it. Jimmy, you psyched about Saturday?
Yeah, man. I'm really happy to be back doing these gigs.
Yeah. And Ant and I did an interview for Punchline Magazine.
Dylan. Yeah, I like that guy.
He says he's a big fan of yours. I don't even know what Punchline Magazine is, but I said, yeah, sure. What is it, an online magazine or something?
Yeah, they have a lot of viewers, I think, and he'll quote you accurately. He's not a douchey reporter. That's why I like him. He quoted me completely accurately.
I actually
fact checks.
You're so right, because I read the article that Ant and I did on Friday. I'm like, wow, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I think he got one thing mixed up.
Did he?
Yeah, because I didn't say we got people behind the scenes that'll do the heavy lifting.
Oh.
I don't use the heavy lifting line.
I think said heavy lifting. Yeah,
Opie uses the heavy lifting.
It's one of my many crutches.
Yeah.
Instant feedback coming in like crazy. Sam from FBA. Well, these dopes think they get to me. Yeah, all right, whatever. Sam from FBA. How does it feel to be manipulated? Want to cry over it with a nice plate of onion rings? Ha ha! You're lucky it's not Point and Laugh Friday. Bird in Philly. Newhart was great because it was all a dream, man.
And it took you off guard, though. It was so
it did. It was a big surprise.
How did St. Elsewhere end?
Oh, God, it was some autistic kid looking into a goddamn snow globe.
Yeah. That was a weird ending, too.
What do you mean?
St. Elsewhere ended with, like, an autistic kid looking into a snow globe.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So the whole show was his just imagination.
The head of surgery over there, like the big muckety-muck at St. Elsewhere, comes home from a day's work, and he's got a toolbox in his hand. He's just some kind of, like, working Joe who has an autistic kid. And the autistic kid is holding a snow globe with, I think, it's got like a miniature version of the hospital inside of it. And it was him imagining, I guess, that his father was this big doctor, and all the characters all made up in an autistic kid's head. When his father, in reality, was just kind of a construction worker guy.
Like that? It's something different.
It was different. It definitely got people talking, and it wasn't.
Look, I imagine
it wasn't just cutting to black.
I imagine it's really hard to end these, these shows that we all know and love. But I'll give us something a little better than what you did last night, David Chase. Stephen S. for Bayshore, just what I wanted to see in the final episode of a show I've been watching for 9 years. A shot of Little Miss Sunshine on the TV.
Yeah, that got me too. Like, what the hell is that?
The thing with the snow globe is kind of like, because you look back over the whole series and go, did this kid imagine that boring little romantic thing that never went anywhere? Like, you look back and go, nah.
Yeah, what was that? That was a, kid imagining it? Yeah, all those little storylines that just kind of are there to waste time.
I felt a Broadway number would have been lovely last night. Like Tony and the Family and Phil Leotardo could have done some type of a Broadway number. You want to be an artist, David Chase, you fruit. Why don't you do something like that?
A Broadway
number. Everyone's dancing except for Phil because his head is crushed. So his feet are tapping.
We're going to have Frank Vincent, who had his head crushed last night, on the show, hopefully in the next half hour or so. Bill in Chicago, listening on WCKG. What's up, Bill?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, Bill.
When I first listened to you this morning, I was so excited to go home because I DVR'd it and I couldn't wait. And listening to you talk about David Chase being a genius, I thought to myself, here we go, this is the best episode ever. And then as you guys progressed, I found out that I can't wait to get space back on my DVR.
Yeah, we were being sarcastic, sir.
Well, because that's what his friends were telling him, that he's just a genius.
But you know what, though? You guys are phenomenal.
I'll say it again. Whoever does The Wire, and again, they're in season 4, they're coming to season 5, they could screw it up, but really well done, and the season finales will always pay off. They let you know what happened to everybody. Because, look, it is television. You are invested in the series, so you should wrap it up. And you don't have to wrap it up like a hack, but you should wrap it up. It's what happens at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, David Chase has to realize he's on HBO, not on the IFC channel or something.
Yeah, people have been watching this for years. They deserved some kind of an ending. I think he copped out. He didn't. Yep. He knew people weren't going to be satisfied with Tony getting whacked or him living. I think he knew that. Like, what do we do? Because it's one or the other. Everyone boiled the show down to it ending with Tony living or dying. That's it. And he, like, kind of copped out by not doing either. Just kind of leaving it hanging there.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Jason in Jersey. Jason.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Good morning.
I was basically going to say what Jimmy said, man. I just really, really hope they don't end The Wire like that, man. I think freaking David Chase might be a little autistic after that episode last night.
The Wire is just a well-written show. They don't take lazy turns like that. I think I told you a Broadway number. What they should have done is they should have had the whole cast singing the Milford Plaza song. You remember that commercial for the Milford Plaza? The Hip Hooray and Valley Voo. The worst.
The lullaby of old Broadway.
Yeah, they should have all just been singing that in the street as passersby watched and
the
dozed
Milford
off.
Plaza is the lullaby of old Broadway. And the valets singing and dancing. They should have done that.
Yes.
Frank Vincent's squished head. A big tread mark through his face.
AJ and his new therapist on the back of a flatbed doing therapy, singing. You didn't know what was happening. Who cared? God almighty, Meadow Parks, AJ talks.
Singing onion rings to a kick line out behind him.
It was dreck.
It stunk.
Stupid Meadow trying to parallel park. Who cares?
Awful. Uncle Junior stuff was great. That was great when he had no teeth, and you're like, wow, he really is a doddering old
fool. He really
fool.
just kind of
Or was he?
apart.
That's what they're saying in the paper.
Or
was he?
Oh, no, he was. He said, you don't know who I am, do you? And he goes, no, what? We did? That's nice.
That's nice.
Let's say hi to Chris in Boston. Going all over the country today to see what you thought of The Sopranos ending. Chris, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, I don't know why everyone is so surprised around here. For the past 3 years, they've been doing nothing but swinging purses at each other. And here it turns into a Lifetime episode. It's at this point, I had so many years invested in it, I had to have, it was pot odds is what it was. That was all.
Pot odds. You were committed. You were pot committed.
Yeah, we were all frustrated, but Jimmy walked in and said that's exactly how it should have ended, because that's how there was no surprise there. That's how The Sopranos have been for years.
Yeah, disappointing.
Yeah.
But what we're saying today, though, you take the episode just as a regular Sopranos episode, it sucked.
Yeah.
It was very lazy.
Last week was great. That Bobby Bacala shooting scene, you finally saw it, right?
Yeah.
How great was that?
It's fantastic, and it showed you what the rest of the episodes, how crappy they are, because that one was so good.
Yeah.
That one was action-packed. They should have peppered a bunch of episodes like that in. Get some new guys. Have you build up a relationship with them, and then have them get killed or kill people. Just something.
I'm embarrassed for myself that I got off the couch and actually got on my knees in front of the TV like, oh, here it is.
Here it is. I got to get close and see.
Like I said about a half hour ago. Well, I heard the final episode's in a diner. Here it is. Here it is.
I'm sitting there in bed, and then every little thing that's happened, you're getting all excited and getting like butterflies going, oh, here it comes. Here's the big...
my God.
Finally, the ending. Here's what everyone's going to be talking about. And now, stay tuned for what?
John from
Next
Cincinnati.
on HBO, John from Cincinnati. Yeah, okay. So Cincinnati, John's coming in to kill him. What happened?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
John from... No? It's over?
No.
I even sat through the credits waiting for like one of those Ferris Bueller things.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's what I
Come
did,
on,
too.
shut it off. Go. I thought something was going to happen.
I was halfway through John from Cincinnati going, no, they're definitely going to go back to it.
They got to go back
This
to
is
it.
a new marketing thing HBO's doing.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pull one of those things where everybody was going to wake up and go, that sucked. Dude, you didn't stick through the credits.
Dude, you didn't see the credits and it said go to HBO.com for the real ending?
Man,
It was hidden in between the music credits.
Oh, it was a bloodbath.
Oh, my God. I was stupid enough that when AJ walked into the diner, I'm like, oh, it's going to be AJ.
Here it is.
Oh, my God.
He's just going to pull out a gun and shoot him right between the eyes.
It would have been more of a climax if Tony was on his way to the dentist and he twisted his ankle. Do you realize?
You're right. That would have been more of a climax.
That would have been some sort of injury.
You'd been like, ooh, now his mouth is hurting and his ankle hurts. Poor guy.
And all of a sudden, Carmine is snitching. They don't even tell you his arrest. All of a sudden, like, is Carmine snitch? Who cares?
Yeah.
Hey,
let him snitch.
Hey, Lisa from West Palm, this is great, because I did the same thing. Go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
I've never in my life analyzed a Journey song so deeply. I was like, the movie never ends. It'll go on and on and on and on. What do they mean by that?
Yeah, it goes on and on. I felt like that stupid Seinfeld episode when they were analyzing the song.
Yeah.
Oh, which one was that? Where they were.
Witchy Woman.
Yeah.
Was that it?
What?
Witchy Woman?
No, they were just analyzing the song. No, they didn't analyze that song. I just had it in my head, too, and lost it.
Yeah, someone will come up with it. But, Lisa, you're so right.
On Broadway.
And then I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the next part of the song from Journey? Maybe that just solves everything.
I feel like an idiot.
It goes on and on and on.
Downtown, that was it. Downtown.
See,
Petula Clark's Downtown. They just analyzed it over and over, trying to figure out what someone meant by it.
Yeah.
And they're singing it. It's the same thing. You're sitting there with stupid Journey going like, what does it mean? I'm listening to the words, man.
See, it just goes on and on. See, it's like real life. There's no endings in real life. Life just goes on, man. Like an onion ring. It's just kind of just...
Yeah, it's a circle of onion with some fried batter.
And a daughter that can't parallel park!
What did that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
What was her parking? What did it have to do with it?
And if you want it to be like real life, how about you don't waste our time filming it? You just tell us the diner he'll be at. We can all watch by and peek through the window.
Right. I bet you the anxiety people felt because stupid Meadow couldn't parallel park caused heart attacks last night.
I was
sure. And the heart attacks were because, oh my God, 3 minutes left and she can't parallel park?
I was sure when AJ started up his new Beamer.
Yeah.
That was going to explode.
Of course. Well,
I thought something was going to happen.
David Chase in a chateau in France somewhere is like, that's what I wanted you to think.
Another baguette, please.
Oh, David, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
David, yeah, everyone's talking about it. It's just, which is true. Everyone's talking about it. Well, that's what I was trying for. That's what I was gunning for. Got them all.
They would have talked about it no matter what because it was the last episode.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Would you rather have them talk about it and everybody saying, thanks, it sucked?
Yeah. I wish Tony would have just talked in an old Yiddish accent for no reason. The entire thing. His whole time he talked like that, and they never explained
it. And what
a
yarmulke.
And nobody acknowledges the yarmulke like it's been going on for 8 years.
Yeah. Have them all wake up in a mental hospital like they're just a bunch of kooks thinking they're mob guys. Anything. I could come up with 100 of them.
Throw us a bone.
Or just make them Jewish and never explain it.
Right.
Don't explain it. Have all the other mob families talking to Tony and Paulie, and they're Jewish.
Yeah.
And all they can talk about is temple.
Hey.
All wearing yarmulkes.
I'm just reading all the reviews here.
Paulie Walnuts has a yarmulke that's like black on top and gray on the sides.
Nobody's Paulie Walnuts.
They talk about the music in this review. This was no accident. The song Tony chose to play on his tabletop jukebox was Journey's "Don't Stop Believin'." The last words we heard on The Sopranos were Journey lead singer Steve Perry singing and repeating "Don't stop," and then everything stopped.
And
then he writes, music has been the only clue to where Chase was heading with this ending. Earlier in the episode, AJ and his high school girlfriend, who never got naked, at least give us that.
Yeah.
We're listening appreciatively to Bob Dylan's It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, including a line of dialogue that Chase clearly took to heart. I got nothing, Ma, to live up to. What's more, the final episode opened to the instrumental strains of an old Vanilla Fudge cover, You Keep Me Hanging On. No doubt another defiant song choice by Chase.
No, it wasn't defiant.
What?
It wasn't defiant.
How is that defiant?
These idiots are reading into something that the way that ended was the way you cut a home video, a wedding video. You put music to it, you go, the words match up the screen. Not when you're ending one of the biggest TV series in the history of television.
Yeah.
You don't do it with some cheeseball song lyric tie-in.
Like I said a little earlier, David Chase reminded me why I gave up on The Sopranos about 2 seasons ago. And a lot of people gave up on The Sopranos. The numbers were way, way down until the last 2 episodes. You keep me hanging on, no doubt, another defiant choice by Chase. And last week, he even prefigured things by having the Bada Bing girls dancing topless to the doors when the music's over. When the music's over, Jim Morrison sings, turn out the lights. Last night, to put a final punctuation to The Sopranos, that's exactly how Chase ended things.
Oh. What ass wrote that? Just trying to
David Buccolini, or however you say his dumb name.
I don't care. I hope he backs over his own face with a lawnmower, that Buccolini. I hate him. But, it doesn't matter what songs he played. Any song would have been overanalyzed. It didn't matter. Who cared about the music? I can put my own stupid thing. I can go on my Mac and do my own little program which puts music to it. That's not how you end The Sopranos.
Yeah, Dennis in New York. Dennis.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey.
First of all, Jimmy, you're a genius. The way they ended that show is ridiculous. The way they ended 6 Feet Under was done so much better. And actually, I appreciated watching the show after the end of it.
I never saw 6 Feet Under.
They What do they, fast forward a few decades or something like that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
They did something. I forget, because that wasn't a show I watched regularly. But what did they do there?
They showed how every character died. Like, that show's about, about funerals.
Great.
They did every main character's.
They fast-forwarded X amount of years.
Yeah,
and
that's
great.
That's
really,
a good
really
one.
Good, actually.
From a few years to a few decades, whatever, how long it would have taken for all
I saw that guy one time getting into a car. Someone goes, that's the guy that does, who writes the, or created and writes the 6 Feet Under. He's supposed to be a really brilliant writer. Of course, I never saw it.
Let's go to Mark in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Mark?
Hi, I thought the show totally sucked. Everything you guys said is correct. I think people who watch TV want to see drama, not reality, and this is perfect proof that the reality behind Mob, what you see on television, is more interesting than what David Chase wrote.
Well, like they were just saying, Ann, I think was making the point, or Opie was how great it would be if other things ended with no climax.
Yeah.
Like, why have a climax if you want to be such a brilliant guy?
Yeah, The Godfather, the whole scene where Michael goes in and shoots McCluskey and the Turk. He goes into the bathroom, he comes out, looks at him, sits down, and they eat onion rings, and then the screen just goes black.
Or the big moment in that scene is when Michael grabs for his chest and he goes, Captain McCluskey, do you have a Tums? My agita is really bothering me from all this sauce.
You got it, kid. Gives him a Tums.
Yeah. And then they chit-chat about the game. Somebody drops a meatball on the floor and it thuds, and they all laugh.
Let's go to Mike in Moonachie.
Hey, guys. How you doing this
Mike
morning?
from Moonachie.
Hey. By the way, we got Frank Vincent after the break.
All right.
The only good thing about the episode, and we're not just saying that because he's calling the show. That was a really good scene,
Great
man.
scene.
Let's go to Mike. What's up?
That was the biggest waste of an hour of my life last night. They should have wrote in David Chase and whacked him on the show.
Yeah, well, the New York papers, I would love to see what the rest of the papers are doing this morning, but the New York papers, one wacky ending, as in...
A whack.
Whack.
Nice.
How's the Italian food here? Not too good. Let's go somewhere else.
Let's get out of here. Let's grab some. It's a little fattening. Let's go to a vegetarian vegan place down the street.
Yeah. Do you know where one is, Lou? Yeah. Nice work, Lou.
Or if he said, how's the Italian food? And Slaughter said, I wouldn't know. I'm a raw foodist. I only eat vegetables.
And then Michael and him talk about that.
And then New York Post, The Sopranos. Tony and the gang, whack fans.
That's true.
Linda Stacy, I don't even want to know what she had to say about
I don't either. Maybe the only dead thing is that hand in her photo.
Let's go to Arthur on Long
Johnny Fontaine stars in that picture. Okay.
All right.
That's right.
The horse is fine. Everything goes along beautifully.
Instead of a horse's head, they put like a horsehair wig in his bed, and he wears it. He runs around. He's a tranny, Jack Waltz, a very unpassable tranny.
Arthur, Sonny pays his toll.
He has easy pass.
Oh, yeah, it's easy pass.
Easy pass.
That's
gate goes up. He just drives through.
That's the hackiest joke I've seen. Probably 12 comedians do the same joke.
I invented that one.
And then
that was my bit.
Really? Well, they're doing it out there. You would have died if you had easy pass.
Easy pass. I made a little video about that.
They wouldn't have to stop.
And then maybe Carlo and Connie go to marriage counseling and they work it all out.
Right. Everything's fine.
All right, 2 more before we break and then get Frank Vincent on. Arthur, what's
Don
up?
Corleone gets some fruit. Brings it back to the compound.
Right, but he sees a little worm popping out of the apple. And Fredo brings it back. Club soda Fredo.
You don't want to get fruit here, Papa. It's bruised.
Arthur, go. Try to jump in here.
Good morning.
Hey, man.
I think we were all duped, and we learned that the spirit of Andy Kaufman must have entered David Chase, because we're all the brunt of an Andy Kaufman joke.
Yeah, it was very Andy Kaufman-ish. Thank you, Arthur. Let's go to Stu in Philly. Stu, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
I want my money back from cable for these last 7 years. I want somebody in the South Philly mob or the New York mob to whack David Chase and blah.
When did you realize you were running out of steam with this one?
Coming back anytime soon?
Oh, no.
All right, listen, we got Frank Vincent calling in, so let's take a quick break. It's Opie and Anthony. Good morning to you. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Everybody wants to talk about The Sopranos today. 877-212-5762. A little later on, we're going to beat up Al Roker a little bit. A little bit. Also give away some O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour tickets for Jones Beach. Beach this Saturday. But right now on the phone, big star. We can't make him wait. By the way, no one really doing interviews today, but our buddy is. Frank Vincent, everyone. Frank, what's going on?
Opie and Anthony.
There he is.
Frank, I want to thank you for giving us the only interesting scene last night on The Sopranos.
Big highlight.
Thanks, man.
Frank Vincent, you got popped in the head at the gas station.
As you're saying goodbye to your grandkids.
Bye-bye.
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 Say goodbye to Grandpa.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Then you get popped in the head.
Frank, I'm thinking new T-shirt.
What?
I'm thinking new T-shirt for you.
I got them, Phil Leotardos.
No, but I mean, say goodbye to Grandpa T-shirts.
Yeah, put it right on there. Say bye-bye to Grandpa.
And you could have another one with your head with a big tire tread through it.
Yeah, I'm doing a commercial for Michelin pretty soon.
That was your hit was great, man.
Yeah,
it really was because I mean we all saw it coming a million miles.
Why didn't you have a bodyguard with you though? Why did they give Phil Leotardo a bodyguard?
Well, because they didn't want him to get killed.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
They wanted him dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the shot to the head was great. The hand just coming out of this into this frame and shoots you, and then in just a sick, kind of funny in a way twist, the car is in drive still. And your head gets run over.
It slowly rolls
you
over
just hear
your
it
head.
crush, and then there's a few brothers hanging around by the gas station who start to one of them starts throwing up.
But they made reference to my hair all through the show for all the years.
Yeah,
They always said something about the hair or the silver hair guy or something.
Yeah, so it kind of got a little mussed.
Yeah. So that's David's way of eliminating that.
So Frank, now that the series is over and you don't have to kiss David Chase's ass or anything, what did you really think of the final episode?
Well, I thought it was all together, man. I mean, he closed it all off. Everybody, it showed you, they wound up like a family. I mean, what'd you think of it?
I didn't know. Now, Frank, did you know it was going to end like that until you watched it?
I knew it was going to end like that, but I don't know how it's going to look when they put it together.
Okay.
I mean, I knew all the stuff about the cat. I knew everything. We read the script, but you don't know. You just imagine how it's going to be, then you see it.
The thing is, I think a lot of people wanted something more. I know a lot of people wanted something more than just that cutting to a black screen before we know actually what's happening. Is he supposed to have gotten shot? All the shady characters walking around the restaurant? Does he just have dinner with his family? I mean, I think the viewers might have been owed a little more of an answer here.
Well, that's up to David Chase, man. He lives by what he does, and there's nothing else.
Yeah, I understand. We can't understand his brilliance, man.
Yeah, well, he's ultimately very, very brilliant. I guess you got to watch it a few times and really get a good taste of what he's saying to you.
It was just weird, Frank, because they kind of went into a direction. Like, I would have rather have seen more of your being in hiding or more about stuff like that which was a character that I was really invested in. Like AJ, we knew for a long time, and I thought his suicide was kind of or suicide attempt, and then he kind of goes into therapy was kind of the climax and the answer of his character. And then the more interesting stuff of Bacala being shot last week, and then you being on the, hiding out while all this is going on. I just didn't. I think he tied it up very well. I thought it was kind of just poorly tied up.
Well, AJ became successful now. I mean, he's and the girl was successful, and she couldn't wait to get to her family.
She wasn't successful. She couldn't parallel park last night, Frank. It was driving us nuts.
I'm sitting there going, park the goddamn car. There's 3 minutes left.
3 minutes left in this thing.
What kind of car was that?
Lexus.
That's the one that parks itself, the four-corner thing.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it couldn't park itself? What happened?
You know what David Chase should have done? Obviously, he wasn't going to give us a lot. We knew that much. But he should have ended with your hit then. That would have been a nice ending.
Yeah, right. Well,
where you think it's going to be Tony getting shot and somehow it's you,
right? Just give us something like just where we could talk about it today and go, wow, awesome.
Steve from Bay Show's checking in. Frank's new book, A Man's Guide to Being a Pancake Head.
What's a hat you can wear while visiting your Gumar? A little thin one.
I think we come over there, you guys.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
So you, obviously, do you guys know, they actually gave you the honest ending in the read-through?
Yeah, absolutely. We read the ending.
Did you question it? Did you say, what does this mean?
First of all, you don't question.
You don't question.
Second of all, you don't know how it's going to be put together. You hear it, you talk about it, the cat thing.
What did you make of the cat thing?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, it's definitely it was cute and everything. But was there some kind of something I should have picked up on that I'm too stupid to pick up on?
Well, David is a very he's a very deep guy, and he just
he's brilliant.
He had him looking at the picture, and that wanted to make you remember him. I mean, I guess there's a lot of messages there if you really, really diagnose it.
I thought Paulie was just nuts.
Yeah, Paulie was crazy.
It just shows you what an ass Paulie was.
But that was funny. I want that cat out of here. He's all pissed off at the cat.
Right.
He's ready to hit it with a broom.
Well, Frank, how do you think it really ends then? What do you think happens when the screen goes dark?
I think it's just Tony and his family.
Yep.
And they're together.
Yep.
And it's all his troubles he still has, all his troubles. He made Paulie the captain now.
Mm-hmm.
And his business, he got sort of lined up. Phil's gone, threat of that. But still, he's looking over his shoulder. He's looking at everybody that comes in that store.
Yeah, the feds, the people that might want to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy thing to end this.
And the final look was him just seeing metal come through the door.
Yeah, he didn't look upset when you heard the jingle of the door opening up and him looking up like it was somebody maybe coming in to take a shot at him.
Right.
I think it was a lot of paranoia he had of everybody that was in the place.
Sure.
But so you're thinking that's it. He just kind of goes on with his life and business as usual.
2 years from now, you'll see something else like the Soprano movie or something. You never know.
Oh, you never know. You never know. Has there been? Give us a little scoop here. Has there been any talk with any of the people involved in the show about a movie, even if it's just?
The only talk I ever heard, and that was a while back, was a potential of a prequel. Prequel. To go back in time. That's
right.
The only thing I ever heard about.
Frank Vincent confirms Sopranos movie on the Opie and Anthony Show.
Right. Frank will be playing Frank when he was younger.
Frank will be. They'll call him Old Flathead Frank.
Oh, there it is, right there. Old Michelin head.
It was weird because seeing you get shot was great, and then you realize they had the big meeting, but then all of a sudden Carmine's just ratting apparently his kid got busted doing something, and you didn't.
Yeah, he wants to save his kid, I guess.
Which is okay, but you didn't see any of it developing.
They should have brought Big Pussy back, like he was never killed, and
the FBI guy was ratting. You see the FBI guy?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
The FBI guy. He had the girl cop in the bedroom, and he was telling Tony. What was he telling him? Something about the Russian guys or the terrorists.
Yeah, and he was also saying, "Hey, it looks like our side's going to win."
Yeah.
Like he had a whole personal interest in this war.
Yep.
And also he told Tony about the payphone thing.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he told him. He told him, they got a message, or they figured it out that he's calling from the payphone.
He's paying back for the terrorism information, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Frank, what's the book? I understand you wrote a book.
Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man.
Really? What's that about?
What is exactly in there?
Well, that tells you how to be a man's man. You know, I mean,
Sure.
we have music in it. We have cigars in it. We teach you how to smoke cigars, teach you how to go to Vegas, teach you what movies to watch, how to treat a girl, how to get a first date.
What's a Vegas tip or something like that? Because I've been to Vegas with friends, and I never seem to do very well there.
The best Vegas tip you can do is get off the plane, get back on the plane.
Yeah, that would be it. Just yeah.
No, they used to say, the old joke used to be, I got off the plane, I walked into the propeller. That's the old comics used to do that joke. But you can win in Vegas if you really pay attention and do some money management.
Yeah.
You got to be careful because they're going to take your money. It's simple as that.
Gotta be patient.
That sounds like a good book.
Like, you know, we tell you what songs to play while making love.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like Frank Sinatra's "Fly Me to the Moon."
Of course.
And then we tell you what songs to play, you know, not to play while making love, like "Celebration." It wouldn't be a good.
Well, no, you wouldn't want to do that.
Play that while you're
Or
on
Don't
top.
Stop Believing.
Don't stop believing.
You shouldn't stop too early.
Are you a Sinatra fan, Frank?
Oh, please.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Here's my problem with Sinatra. Lyrically, a little odd.
Is Sinatra odd?
Oh, no, lyrically, some of the lyrics were a little odd. There's a song about.
You better not make any calls from a gas station there,
It's a good.
my friend.
I just heard recently. I was eating, and what's that song? A Grace wants some bouillabaisse. And I'm like, what is that?
I don't know. I never heard that. Grace wants some bouillabaisse.
Yeah, it's about a party or something.
Are
and
you being
oh,
serious?
I'm dead serious. And like there's like all these people. Like Jake wants a weenie bake, and Grace wants some bouillabaisse. It's like a big party thing, and like I just.
It's memorable.
I never heard that one.
Okay, maybe you're not familiar with that one.
Yeah, maybe, but not play that one. That's all.
All right. Well, we're big fans, Frank. We hope you can come in
guys.
studio.
Yeah, congratulations
Frank.
on the finale, man.
You were great.
You were the
whole series.
highlight.
You really were great.
Frank Vincent rarely makes it through a TV or a movie or something without some horrible thing happening to him.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's my thing. Pal.
It certainly
It really
is.
is these violent, awful deaths and beatings he takes.
Oh, that nice head of white hair he's got just all bloodied up by a car tire.
And Frank Vincent hinted all year because he's been calling us saying, hang in there. You'll see something cool with me.
You know what I want my desktop to be is Frank Vincent peering in that window going, bye-bye, bye-bye. You looked adorable, Frank, as you were saying goodbye to your grandkids.
Bye-bye screensaver, Frank.
Bye-bye.
Do bye-bye screensavers, I'm thinking. Or flathead mouse pads.
FrankVincent.com is Frank's website.
Check it out.
Yes, absolutely. Frank, thanks so much for checking in with us. Don't be a stranger now that the show's done with either.
We'll be working. I'll call you.
All right.
Very good,
Thanks,
Frank.
guys.
Take care.
Good luck.
Bye.
There he is.
Frank Vincent.
Straight from getting his head run over in the last episode of The Sopranos. Frank Vincent, our good friend.
No one from The Sopranos is doing interviews today. They're all in hiding because people want to yell and scream at him. But Frank Vincent, he knew he had a good scene last night. So
let me tell you something.
He's going to be. He wants to talk today.
I'm going to analyze that phone call a little bit.
All right.
I think there's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
He said maybe in a couple of years. You know, in a couple of years, it takes, a while to film these things and get them all together and get everyone in place. I think they're already talking about it.
You're a sucker.
I'm not a sucker. I just think they'll do it.
We finally have to acknowledge we can't be suckers anymore.
What? If they put out a movie, you wouldn't watch it?
It would end just like last night's episode. That's the problem.
But you wouldn't watch it?
Because we all would go, they're setting up a movie, and now we're going to get everything answered in a movie. And then we're going to see the movie. Guess what? It's going to be the same crap.
I wouldn't care if it, you know something? I really wouldn't mind that ending. If the entire episode was action and tying up other loose ends and not so much on the stupid AJ thing and that, like if they just would have had a real action-packed episode and then it ends like that, you're like, what the hell happened? But at least you were satisfied, with the foreplay.
I think a lot of people would be disappointed no matter what David Chase did last night. But we have to say it again. As far as the Sopranos episode, it was very sloppy and it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good in general.
You're right. The winter, they're sitting outdoors, 1 minute relaxing.
Snowing.
It's
And then
10
there's
degrees
snowing.
in the other
I
scene.
brought that up, though. My girlfriend said, well, it was like snowing in April. She goes, it was kind of crappy weather. We did have a cold, long winter like that. So, but still, it just was thrown together because then they're sitting in T-shirts in front of the pork store, not worrying about somebody driving by and shooting them.
Right.
Like, it just seemed like it was chopped up and thrown together. I don't know.
Tor Johnson walked into a wall and they kept it.
Tor Johnson reference. Nice.
A man his size would have trouble wrapping up a series neatly.
Let's go to Eric in New York. Eric.
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't play the alternate ending where Tony goes to jail and he cries himself to sleep for 3 days and they let him out.
Hey, that's a good one.
A la Paris Hilton. Did you see Paris' sister in that tiny, tiny little skirt visiting Paris over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nikki, right? Nikki Hilton?
Yeah, Nikki Hilton went to the prison to go visit Paris, and they showed a picture of her. She's wearing a skirt where I swear you could see what's going on. Yeah, exactly. What a short skirt, her long, thin legs. And she's walking into the joint like that? Get out of here. Mingy. Mingy.
Hey, we got to acknowledge that Steve's going crazy, by the way.
What's wrong with
One of our guys is going crazy. I'm like beyond creeped out, by the way.
Here, Frank Vincent got a new haircut. He's sporting a flat top.
Here's our own Steve coming into studio.
Speaking of grooming and hair.
Stop with the hat.
Here comes
down.
Steve.
What are you doing?
No. This is how Steve came in today. If we can, let me spin the Pal Talk camera around.
Steve's one of our guys.
Having Pal Talk here.
One of our guys who likes to kind of groom himself. What are some of the things you like to do there, Steve? Just to remind the audience, maybe the new people.
Talk about the grooming.
Let's see. I have the beard.
You lost a couple 100 pounds because you had your stomach stapled.
I'm incredibly vain, and so I do things like lose a couple 100 pounds by getting my stomach stapled. I'll trim my beard like painstakingly.
Yeah,
to
way
the point.
too much work. For me, it's a goatee or just shave.
Right.
But you carve out.
Yeah, I carve out a goatee.
He's one of those guys that has to carve out stuff.
He does the cool guy in the boy band beard cuts.
Right.
Where you got to have the real thin, like.
I respect the guys out there that do carves out stuff, but it just looks too much work, man, for me.
Too much work.
And I'm a very hairy guy, and
very hairy. I shave my arms so I can be a little bit less hairy on the arm region. Also shows off the tattoos.
Right. You also laser some hair off.
I also lasered some hair off the back.
It keeps growing back.
It keeps growing back.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to stay off?
It's supposed to if you keep going back. But the problem is I have that one tattoo on my back that you can't laser it because I'll burn the tattoo off. So you just have a patch of hair that's thicker than that's surrounded by all this thinner hair. So it just looks silly.
You should incorporate it into your tattoo somehow. Make the tattoo like a hairy thing.
Well, get a beard. Well, the chick riding the guitar on my back already has a full beard because of all the hair growing through her face.
How Lebanese are you?
30% probably.
And he also works out.
What's the rest? Dachshund?
How many hours a day do you work out?
Hour and a half a day.
Every day.
Every day.
And a half. That's crazy.
Now, what's going on with the hat being pulled down? He's got his hat.
We've never seen him wear a hat.
Right.
Maybe on a couple occasions.
He's
not a guy that
down.
would wear a hat in general.
The brim of his baseball type cap, of course, it's a Foundry Music cap with the flames on the front.
Of course,
is up. It's pulled down very low over his brow, and we were trying to figure out why. And he spilled the beans as to why he's wearing that.
Yeah,
right.
Take the hat off for Jimmy.
See? Look, Jim, just get a good look.
Look, I can't see it. Your light's blocking. What happened?
He shaved his eyebrow.
Something amiss. Something went.
Okay. So it goes like this.
He's got the Whoopi Goldberg going.
I have Whoopi Goldberg eyebrows at the moment.
Why would you shave your eyebrows?
I have an electric beard trimmer that I use to carve out the beard, okay? And I have, in the past, used it to reduce my bushy eyebrows. And no one has, and I've done it carefully enough so no one really notices. So it's just so it trims them. But I was not paying attention and didn't adjust the stupid, what's the
little height adjustment?
Yeah, the little height adjustment on the thing, and I whacked one of them off yesterday completely, and as my mouth is just hanging open looking at my one eyebrow and
Steve,
one full eyebrow.
I got to call you out.
No, I swear to you.
It wasn't by accident.
Nope.
You decided that you wanted a close eyebrow shave and then realized, wow, this looks really dumb.
You wanted to have a closely cropped brow so you could have fun at your
Dude, I got
with
razors
Curry.
and stuff, and I make sure, you triple check, quadruple check to see what what.
What's even better is he realized when he did the other one because the other one isn't as short.
Yeah, the other one
he's got one non-existent eyebrow on his right eye, and then over his left eye, it's a regular eyebrow, little short.
Exactly. Hence and believe me, if I really wanted it this short, I would absolutely admit to it. And
I'm not saying you wanted it that short. You definitely were going to shave it down shorter than you usually do and realize, oh man, this really looks bad.
I say, we get a Sharpie, and Sharpie in that eyebrow that's missing.
And I say we get crutches for the people who even come near me with a Sharpie.
Wow. What does this mean?
How long would it take you to shave them? How long does it take them to grow back if you shaved them?
Hopefully they'll be back in by tomorrow.
Well, he's Lebanese, so
yeah, exactly. I was praying to Jesus that I would grow them back in overnight. Putting Rogaine on my eyebrows.
Why don't you just shave them totally off?
Because that would look really dumb instead of
That'd be great.
Mostly dumb, which is what it looks like now. Believe me. I
shave your eyebrows. What's wrong with you?
No, not even your. No. There's nothing wrong with it, Steve.
There isn't. It's fine.
No, there's nothing fine about it. I'm not shaving my eyebrows.
There's a way. You run the razor over your complete eyebrow. It's
a beard trimmer. It's a beard trimmer. And you do it with a height adjustment, so you just go boom, and it shortens it up. And because my eyebrows, if I let them go, will grow into my temple. So I've done this.
You're a chimp.
So I've done this a bunch of times, and no one's ever noticed.
I get those an occasional wild 3 hairs that'll come flying out, but never. I never let them get to that point.
Hey,
if you just take your finger and kind of push up on your eyebrow, you could see the ones that are kind of poking up further than the other ones, and you take a little scissor and go click, 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 click.
See, I learned. That never would have occurred to me.
And you but then you don't have to worry about because the thought of taking a razor over your eyebrow it's just too risky.
He's a grooming freak.
Too risky.
Enough with the grooming, man.
I know.
The sideburns coming down to the jawline.
Well, the sideburns I figured out.
They're cool.
Sideburns I figured out. The beard I figured out. The eyebrows apparently I need to stay away from.
Steve's got a cool look. He does.
Except for the eyebrows.
Except for the stupid missing eyebrow now.
Let's go to Cigars and Scotch. Cigars and Scotch, what's up?
Hey, Steve, come clean. I know where you were on the weekend. You were shooting a remake of Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Got any blood in the sink?
No, just eyebrow hair.
I have a couple of wacky ones that stick up like little antenna, and my ex-girlfriend hated them. So I would.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, you refused to cut them.
Yeah, because they look wacky.
Were you using them as a prop on stage?
No, I would rub her cheek with them. She would hate them.
Ew, you'd rub her cheek with your...
I said, look, aren't I like a scientist? It would just really creep her out.
Yeah, but my eyebrows, like I said, they'll grow into my temple. And even my barber takes a beard trimmer and goes over here and does all this stuff. Because my hair is so thick, my eyebrows will grow into my temple hair.
Connect into your temple, and if that happens, the world ends.
He's Wolf Boy.
He really is.
You're like a wolf boy. We got to take a break.
You ever happen? Let me break this one open. Remember when I had long hair? When you'd shampoo your hair, and Steve had long hair at one point. You ever have? I called it a wild hair up your.
Yeah.
It was. You'd be shampooing, and then later on, you'd kind of feel something ticklish. So you'd reach down to your undercarriage, and a single hair from your head will have worked its way down your back and into the crevice area. So you reach and pull, and the sensation you would get, you'd go like,
either that or you get one that starts choking your unit. You ever get that? Oh my God, my unit's trying to commit suicide.
This is called the wild hair up your.
Or it's not a wild hair; it's the pube of a friend.
No, it's got to be when some people go, "I never had that happen." It's got to be when you have shoulder length hair.
Yeah, it happens.
So girls have it,
or when you're in a band and and trying to wash that greasy mane. They happen.
And then you pull, and it's like whoa, because it works its way right through everything.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to get into some other things after the break. Thank you, Steve. We got Dennis Hoff calling in. We're giving away a date to the Bunny Ranch.
Yes.
For a lucky father out there. That's
right.
For
a dad.
For Father's Day, we're getting a date for a father. We're going to fly him out to Nevada where it's legal, the Bunny Ranch, and this father is going to get a date. We'll explain a little more after the break, okay?
Father.
I'm reserving that bathroom. We'll be back. It's Opie and Anthony.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show. 92.3 K-Rock.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. Hey, let's give away some tickets. Oh. Faithful listeners sat through the break. We appreciate that. Always appreciate that. We got Jones Beach, ONA Traveling Virus Comedy Tour. This Saturday at Jones Beach, brought to you by Bud Light, always worth it. I believe $10 ticket special is still happening. Might want to go to Ticketmaster.com for that. Very surprised. I thought that ended, but maybe they didn't update their website. I don't know. Check it out for yourself. I do believe you can get a ticket for $10 today. Go to Virus Tour. Virus Tour, one word on MySpace for all the info on the tour, the dates, the comedians, and everything else that is associated with the ONA Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, okay? But right now, if you give us a call at 877-212-5762, we'll give a random listener a pair of tickets to the show this Saturday, okay? Make sure you could use them. They're a hot ticket. Make sure you could use them if you give us a call right now.
Yeah.
And I want to say sorry to Boston because they're going to hear this announcement 10 minutes from now. So they don't even have a chance at the tickets. Yeah. Yeah, a little delayed joke. All right. Hey, we got to talk about Al Roker. What a douche.
Absolutely.
Al Roker's a douche.
He's a fat, irrelevant weatherman.
Ass.
Where's that article? I gave it to you, Jimmy.
He's a hypocrite.
Absolutely, he is. Now, the Imus thing, when that all went down, everyone had a lot. Everyone had a lot to say about Imus, right?
Yeah.
And Al Roker was one of the very vocal people out there saying that Imus needs to be fired. And then when he was fired, he was very happy that Imus got fired for saying what he did.
Yeah, because Imus was simulcast on MSNBC.
Yeah.
Al Roker is on NBC.
Yeah.
And they took what Al Roker and supposedly other employees had to say seriously and to heart. And when they voiced their opinion that they wanted Imus fired, MSNBC fired Don Imus.
Right.
So Al Roker was a big part of that.
And he was blogging like crazy. He wrote, I, for one, at the time he wrote, I, for one, am really tired of the diatribes. The humor at others' expense. The cruelty. Wow, he did say this. Thank you, God. Thank you. Wait till you hear what Mr. Roker did.
I, for one, am really tired of the diatribes. The, quote, humor at others' expenses. The cruelty that passes for, quote, funny. Don Imus isn't the only one doing this, but today he's the one in the hot seat. Well, really, is he? Al.
Way to go, Al. Way to put your big fat foot in your fat mouth.
It's funny how Al wasn't tired of his own network using Cho's pictures and manifesto to help himself. I wasn't tired of that.
Well, he didn't speak up when that was all going down because that would mean his job. But he went after a safe target at the time, Imus, because everyone was piling on.
Yeah,
so why not let the fat guy pile on last? So what he said was vile and disgusting. It denigrated an entire team and by extension, a community and its pride in a group that had excelled. Don and his wife have done a lot of good things, raising money for charity, including a ranch for children suffering from cancer and blood disorders. Yet Don Imus needs to be fired for what he said. And while we're at it, his producer, Bernard McGurk, needs to be canned as well. McGurk is just as guilty, often egging Imus on. You're not listening to a best of, by the way. We're here.
No.
It's June 11th. We'll get to the point in a second here. Just want to refresh everyone's memory what Mr. Al Roker said about Imus
this
was all going down. Go ahead, Dan.
This next line is great from Al Roker. And remember all these things we're saying when we get to the story here.
Yeah.
He says the I'm a good person who said a bad thing apology doesn't cut it. Remember that. Al Roker saying the I'm a good person who said a bad thing apology doesn't cut it. At least he didn't try to weasel out of this by hiding behind alcohol or drug abuse. Still, he said it, and a 2-week suspension doesn't cut it. It is, at best, a slap on the wrist, a vacation, nothing. Really? Citing context within a comedy show is not an excuse.
You better say that again.
Again.
Really loud.
Al Roker, commenting on Don Imus, citing context within a comedy show is not an excuse. He had to take his punishment and start over. Guess what? He'll get rehired and we'll go on like nothing happened. CBS Radio and NBC News needs to remove Don Imus from the airwaves. That is what needs to happen. Otherwise, it just looks like profits and ratings rule over decency and justice.
What? He's emotionally a hack.
Yeah.
He's a blogging hack.
Well, there's a reason he's supposed to just do the weather.
Exactly. Turn the umbrella upside down and eat like whipped cream out of it until you go into a diabetic coma, fat boy.
Yeah, let the others do all the heavy lifting.
Spent a whole career not being poignant. Now you want to chime in? Come on.
So I and a lot of people associated with the show and a lot of people out there remember all those things Al Roker said during the whole Lima situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading the papers over the weekend. There's a little article.
Yeah, very little.
It's
not front page.
It was buried in a Saturday paper. Who reads Saturday's paper for the most part?
Mm-hmm.
But it says Joker Roker sorry.
Joker Roker.
They're calling him Joker Roker, and he has to say sorry.
He's sorry.
And I'm thinking to myself...
About what? Did he give a bad weather forecast or something? Perhaps he said rain, and it didn't rain, and you didn't make plans. Oh, I see. That must have been it. What else could it possibly be?
He made a little joke that backfired on the Today Show.
Oh, a joke? Was he joking about a high-pressure system moving in when actually a low was coming in or something weather-related?
Right. And usually when I see Al Roker in the paper, I'm like, I don't even read the article because I'm like, what could he possibly have to say about anything? But when it says Joker Roker sorry, I'm like, oh, this piqued my interest. Let me read further. And it says Al Roker apologized yesterday for joking about epileptic seizures on Thursday's Today Show.
Oh!
Now remember what we just read you from his blog.
How about that? Was it context within a comedy show? Was it? Is he a good person who said a bad thing? You hypocrite.
But wait a minute. He doesn't like, quote, cruelty that passes for, quote, funny.
Right. Well, who are we to say? Maybe it was in some kind of context.
Well, let me read on. Remember that controversial Olympic logo for the 2012 Olympics in London?
It's awful.
Yeah, it is awful.
It's terrible.
Some folks have complained that the campaign actually sent them into epileptic seizures. Roker said on Thursday's show.
Uh-huh.
So, setting up a little bit.
That's just news because people with flashing lights in various colors and shifting shapes have been known to set off epileptic seizures in certain people. So that was the news story.
It looks like he's setting up a very funny line here.
A little joke, maybe.
Because he writes...
Joker Roker.
Because, and it's set up like any other comedian out there. He says, remember that controversial Olympic logo? So there's going to be something funny after
Hey, I got to tell you, remember that controversial logo out there? Wow. Hey, I got to tell you something. Anybody remember Charo? He's setting it up. Here it comes. Tee it up, Al.
Yeah, here's the setup for a doozy, huh, Al?
Doozy.
Here comes Al's doozy. So
strap in.
So he basically says, remember the logo that was, sending some people into epileptic seizures.
Yeah.
Al Roker continues. Well, we asked you to weigh in on our website in an informal poll, and then he says. Those of you who could get up off the floor after shaking around were able to actually log in. What a douche! So he's making fun of a whole group of people. It seems quite similar timers now, doesn't it?
What he is doing is making light of a disease that many people have and suffer from.
Right.
And do not find funny.
Right.
And that's what he was doing, making light of other people's affliction to try to make a joke.
Now, Al, following your own blog, I'm waiting. Maybe today's the day that you resign from the Today Show.
I'm a good person who said a bad thing. Does that fit you, Al, in that situation? Are you citing context within a comedy show as an excuse?
Which you don't think should be an excuse?
Perhaps you're doing that.
Right.
He's a liar. Read his explanation.
I know.
It is more despicable than what he said is his explanation.
He's a liar.
How about this?
Yep, he's a liar.
How about his
you're right.
blog about Imus that starts off, I, for one, am really tired of the diatribes, the humor at others' expense, the cruelty that passes
passes for humor. Talking about an epileptic, could you picture a mother of an epileptic child cradling the child as they're having a seizure on the floor, and then Al Roker comes out with this statement. Don't you think that's cruelty that you're trying to pass off as funny?
Because he doesn't just say get up. He says after shaking around.
Shaking around on the floor.
Right.
they can get up and cast their little vote on the website. So his excuse, by the way, like Jimmy said, is nothing but a lie.
Right.
You're a lying sack of crap with this excuse.
I assume he's going to resign today. I assume.
He should.
He should follow his own advice that he had on his blog.
And other people that work with him at NBC should come out against him like he did against Imus and call for his firing.
Yep.
I, for one, I don't care. I think the guy should keep his job because, for one, I think things like that should be able to be said.
Of course.
Whatever.
You should be able to try to make funny out of anything.
But if you're going to blog and call for someone's firing and actually succeed in getting someone fired, perhaps you ought to live by the same rules and not use humor like that at other people's expenses. Cruelty that passes as funny. Don't cite context within a comedy show. And don't say you're a good person who said a bad thing.
Right.
Can we read his revolting lie of an explanation?
Yesterday, Roker said he was sorry, and this is Al Roker's quote. I started joking about it. I want to make this clear. I was not joking about epilepsy or anyone who suffers from epilepsy, he said at around 8:04 a.m. while he was delivering a weather report from Milwaukee. That's what you should be doing, weather in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee weather.
We understand and know that this is a serious affliction and would never joke about that. We were joking about the logo, not about epilepsy. If anybody was offended, I heartily and really humbly apologize.
First of all,
if
it's not
anyone
we.
was offended.
It's not we, it's I, fat boy.
Yes, what is the we?
And second of all, if you weren't joking about the epilepsy, what in the logo where it says, you say that it actually causes people to go into epileptic seizures, and then in the next line you say, get up off the floor after shaking around. How can you lie? Everybody knows it was an epilepsy joke, you dope. If it was about cancer and you said people shaking on the floor, people would go, what?
What? That doesn't make sense. And he was talking about people casting votes on the website, and the joke was the fact that people with epilepsy wouldn't be able to cast a vote because they'd be shaking on the floor.
And having seizures.
This has nothing to do with the logo. You're not joking about the logo. You're lying to try to save your effing job is what you're doing. You're a liar. You're insincere. The we thing isn't we. It's I. Because you said it.
It's funny, Al, because you don't know anyone that have epilepsy, right? See how it works?
So you're a liar. You're a liar. This is the type of stuff he probably says when the cameras aren't rolling and there's no tape rolling all the time, just like normal human beings do. They bring up these dark comedy and taboo subject matter, and the second he does it, he comes up with these excuses.
Right.
Wasn't making fun of epilepsy. Yes, you were. Shut up. Fess up to it, you lying sack.
What I want to say, I think Al Roker has learned how easy it is to just try to entertain your audience and slip. That's all Imus did that day.
Perhaps
That's all
you
he was
see
trying
that.
to do.
Perhaps now, Al, you can see that it's not as easy.
How it happens, right, Al?
It's not that easy when you're working off the cuff and just kind of rolling on live TV or radio. That something might slip out of your stupid mouth and you might say something, and should it then cost you your job? Because you did indeed do something extremely insensitive.
There are a lot of people out there.
You made a joke that could be considered cruel, and now you're trying to apologize and blow it off like you weren't goofing about it. You're not even sincere in your apology. You're not even sincere. And then he says, if people were offended. People were offended. Don't say, if you were offended by it, I apologize. Say that people were offended, I apologize. Not we. The guy's a liar.
And he said, I want to make this clear. I was not joking about epilepsy.
We got the actual audio.
Yes, you were, Al.
Why don't we do this?
Let's hear it.
Here's Roker. Here's him making the actual comment.
Love to hear it.
And a little update on a story we told you about yesterday. Remember that controversial Olympic logo for the 2012 Olympics in London? Well, some folks have complained that the campaign actually sent them into epileptic seizures. Others say it's just downright ugly. Well, we asked you to weigh in on our website in an informal poll. And those of you who could get up off the floor after shaking around, you were able...
And
they're laughing hysterical.
They're all laughing.
Laugh.
What's the difference between this and what Mr. Imus did?
Exactly.
And don't call up because I'm not going to even, humor. Entertain what you have to say with and why it's different.
Because there's no difference.
And honestly, I don't care. Al Roker should be able to say that. Imus should say whatever the hell he wants. And maybe now Al Roker understands how this type of crap could happen.
I'll tell you how it's different and why Al is even more repulsive. Because Imus's job is to be funny.
Yep.
So he has the pressure of being funny for 4 hours a day. This fat lump, who should have had lipo in his head to make it, because he looks like a Pez dispenser now, who couldn't stop eating, is not supposed to be funny. Your job, fat boy, is do the weather.
Yep.
That's your job.
Do
It's
the
raining.
weather.
Stand under an umbrella. It's raining. You don't have to be funny.
The guy's buying his own hype. He thinks he's like this star now. He thinks he's a celebrity, a big star. You're a weatherman. You're a glorified weatherman. He's probably not even a meteorologist, which upsets me. I think all weathermen should be meteorologists. He's a big California raisin head.
Here's the Al Roker apology.
I do want to take care of one thing, though.
Do you?
Yesterday,
look at that aside. It's like an aside. Oh, by the way, since I got a little extra time, I do want to take care of one thing. How about you have to come out right on the top and give a sincere apology?
I do want to take care of one thing, though. Yesterday at this time, we were talking about that 2012 London Olympics logo and how hideous it was, and how people were being suggested that they were having epileptic seizures by this thing. And I started joking about it, and I want to make this clear. I was not joking about epilepsy or anybody who suffers from epilepsy.
What?
Holy!
You're a lying. I want to curse so bad. I want to call him the lying sack of.
He's a liar.
He's a liar. You're being a liar. You're insincere. That is the most insincere piece of drivel.
Looks like someone's trying to save their job.
A little bit.
I've been doing stand-up for 17 years, and when you set something up with campaign actually sent them into epileptic seizures, and your next line is get up off the floor and shaking around, there's no human way you weren't joking about epilepsy. So be a man and tell the truth.
He can't. That would take about. He's America's darling. They love looking at him. All the rubes that watch that show love looking at him and oh boy, look at the non-threatening black guy that's going to do the weather for us. This is fantastic. We love him. He can't turn those people off. So he lies.
Anybody who suffers from epilepsy, we understand and know that is a serious affliction and would never joke about that. Joking about the logo, not about epilepsy.
No,
if anybody was offended by that, I heartily and really apologize.
He hardly apologized.
I was not trying to make fun of anybody who suffers from that affliction in their family. So if you were offended, I apologize.
Yes, you were.
Clear. Let's take a look, show you what's going on as far as your weather is concerned.
That's what your job is.
Pick city of the day happens to be Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Brew City.
You're a liar. He's a liar, man.
Plus the fact, okay, he apologized. All right, good.
Yeah.
You get to keep your job because you apologize, right? Oh, no, that's right. Imus apologized. He still got fired.
And he didn't even apologize.
No.
He said, if you were offended, I apologize. But you shouldn't be offended because I wasn't even talking about that. But he was.
Then why would you apologize if you didn't make the joke?
Where is the outrage? Where are the postings of that audio? I want that audio posted. Post it online somewhere.
I want to give out NBC's numbers. People can call and complain who might be offended.
There you go. Might be offended.
I think people should let NBC know they're offended by Al Roker's despicable comments.
This son of a bitch is lying. You just heard him lie. You heard the line. He was absolutely joking about epilepsy, and then he says he wasn't. He was talking about the logo. Shut up, you liar.
And, of course, which makes this more interesting, the blog about Imus.
Yep. Everything he says in there is just complete hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, instead of, you could substitute Al Roker for Imus in Al Roker's blog.
Yeah, just substitute Al Roker.
I, for one, am really tired of the diatribes of humor at others' expense, the cruelty that passes for funny. Al Roker isn't the only one doing this, but today he's the one in the hot seat.
In the hot seat.
What Al Roker said was vile and disgusting. It denigrated an entire team and, by extension, a community, and its pride in a group that has excelled. Al and his wife have done a lot of good things.
No, you can't put that. Al and his wife, as far as I know, have done nothing. That one would probably
I have no idea what they do.
He ate.
All right, how about we move on to this? Yet Al Roker needs to be fired for what he said. I'm a good person who said a bad thing apology doesn't cut it. At least Al Roker didn't try to weasel out of this by hiding behind alcohol or drug abuse. Well, I was trying to... That didn't work. Still, he said it, and a 2-week suspension doesn't cut it. Citing context within a comedy show is not an excuse.
He was trying to make a joke.
CBS and NBC News needs to remove Al Roker from the airwaves. That is what needs to happen. Otherwise, it just looks like profits and ratings rule over decency and justice. This is Al Roker's words.
Because there's no special interest group like there are for racial groups who have become such babies. There's no special interest group for epileptics that are screaming in the media, so we probably felt safe making an epileptic joke.
That's
how it works, right?
He felt completely safe making an epileptic joke, and I would love to just pound on this, get that audio up somewhere. Not to get him fired, but just to reveal this for what it is. This is the same situation that Don Imus was in. He said something off the cuff like that,
just
a quick
trying to be
throwaway
funny.
line, trying to be funny, and it offended some people, and he apologized, but it wasn't good enough for some people, and one of those people was Al Roker, who was at the forefront from what I heard at NBC for getting Don Imus pulled from MSNBC. Al Roker's name came up as one of the guys that was at the forefront there talking to the president of the company that this is an awful thing and it makes the company look bad. Well, what do you think? What do you think you just did, Al Roker? The same goddamn thing. And instead of fessing up and apologizing for it like a man, what he did was try to bury it and say that he wasn't even goofing on epilepsy when it's so obvious he was.
Did the exact thing that Don Imus did. It just, when I read that over the weekend, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away because he was so vocal when the Imus situation happened.
Would some of the sponsors feel if they knew Al Roker was making epilepsy jokes?
And I think he should be fired. Why? Because it shows a consistency in the standard of the network.
There you go.
Absolutely
If some people have to stay between the lines and watch what they say, or else they're threatened with their jobs being taken away, I think everybody should have to adhere to the same standard. And Al Roker is one of those people. He's in the media. He's got a huge viewership of people, and he absolutely offended people and wasn't even fessing up to it in his apology.
And he should be fired more than Don Imus should have been fired.
Absolutely.
Because he's not even doing a comedy show. We're doing a comedy show, believe it or not. Every day we try to do a comedy show. It's unscripted, and we're just flying by the seat of our pants. And now Al Roker has learned the hard lesson that sometimes you just screw up trying to entertain your audience.
He's a real member of the media. Like, he's a legitimate member of the media.
He reflects, like he said about Imus, reflects on the entire organization, meaning NBC. And that was his point, is that Don Imus made NBC, the professional NBC, look bad. Well, what do you think you just did, Al Roker, with that line?
Here, let's bring.
Oh, what
yeah, hold on. Let's bring some faces in.
Story ideas.
Let's bring some faces into the story. Brian in Queens, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
What's up, man?
Make it quick there.
This is hearing you guys talk about this as I'm driving. I want to pull over and just rip my effing hair out because this fat bastard. My mother was killed from epilepsy. She had a seizure in the bathroom and she broke her neck.
There you go, Al. But it's funny to Al Roker.
Yeah.
See, and I want to make it perfectly clear. We think you should be able to say whatever the hell you want on TV and radio within FCC regulations, whatever. But, if Al's going to call for Imus's head and then he turns around and does the exact same thing, well, where's the outrage?
Live by the same standard.
Where's the outrage, Al?
Your mom died of this. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that when he says something about the Olympic logo being an epileptic seizure, then falling on the floor and shaking around, do you take that as a joke about epilepsy?
Absolutely. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was tasteless. I didn't think it was funny. I love you guys' show in the morning. And I'm glad you guys are kind of bringing it up. But when I heard it the other day, because it was brought to my attention by my sister, who also suffers from the disease, we were both really, really offended because my mother had epilepsy. She's been 6 years old, and she died by the time she was like 59. So try and deal with that on a regular basis as we grew up and watching it basically deteriorate herself.
Yeah.
It's really horrible. It's
now,
a horrible disease.
You've actually seen, your mother or maybe your sister have a seizure, correct?
Oh, my God, 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, and did the image that Al Roker conjured up, did that make you feel good? I mean, where he's talking about, hey, if they could stop shaking on the floor to get up and cast their vote, did you find that at all funny?
I didn't find it funny, and I was more upset by his ignorance, because evidently he's never been around somebody who had epilepsy before, because you have no idea the horror and the shock that you go through.
I say what Al Roker did is way worse than what Imus did. Way worse.
Well, the NBC switchboard, I mean, why shouldn't people make their voices heard? Why shouldn't there be a consistency with the network standards?
There should
So
be.
if you have a pen, dude, if you want to tell your story, you should tell it to NBC.
Yeah, dude, do you have a pen, Brian?
212.
Because I think if I think people like you who are genuinely hurt by this should have your feelings known to NBC.
Yeah, because this was buried in the paper over the weekend.
Yep.
Kind of like Imus's thing was kind of buried, and then someone brought it to everyone's attention.
Yeah.
What's the number there?
212.
Yeah.
664-4444. Very easy to remember. 212-664-4444. That's the NBC switchboard in New York, 212-664-4444. So if you want to call up, you should tell them what you just told us, dude, because why should he be able to make disgusting remarks like that and then hide behind an apology that's not even honest?
Be professional, be polite, and just voice your opinion on this thing, and talk about things like how perhaps the sponsors of the program would be upset with Al's comments, how you being a victim in this too, with your mother and sister having epilepsy, do not accept his apology. And you want this taken further, and you're upset about the way this story was buried and about his insincere apology. That was more of a lie than an apology, because he was indeed goofing on epilepsy and not the Olympic logo. And see how Al takes all this. See if he goes on an apology tour, buckles under, see what NBC management does. I want to see if there's a double standard here.
Maybe Al will go to someone suggesting he should tour hospitals and see people with
epilepsy. And meet and have to sit and meet and speak with people with epilepsy and be educated on the subject.
Yeah, I would like to see that happen.
Yeah.
Instead of that disgusting, I would respect him at least a little bit more as a man if he told the truth when he apologized.
He
But
lied.
He couldn't even do that.
He was trying to weasel his way out of it without taking any responsibility for what he said. And when you're on live TV or radio, that seems to be the thing now. Every word that comes out of your mouth, you're responsible for and have to take the heat for if you slip up.
And when you're just trying to entertain your audience, Al Roker is learning that lesson the hard way.
There you go.
See, Al, wow, see how easy it is to do this?
Hey, Al, it's easy, ain't it? You just get on and you blurt things out. And then if you say something mistake, you just half-ass cover it with a insincere lying apology, and you go about your business, right? Oh, well, Imus didn't, because you made a big to-do about that, didn't you?
Right. Remember the guy that was doing the weather report and he meant to say Martin Luther King Jr.? But
my God.
He didn't even say the word. He goes, Martin Luther King Jr., I'm so sorry. That was a sincere apology by a weatherman who honestly made an error, a dumb error.
Just a mistake.
And immediately...
He tripped over his tongue and a bad word, racial epithet came out. Half of one
King and
came
Junior
out.
is what he was mixing up. And unfortunately, that's like a close racist... But King and Junior, he was rushing.
He was fired before they went to commercial.
He was
my
fired
God.
that day.
Yeah.
Where's the double standard? Only because it's racial? You can only be fired for racial stuff? Come on, man.
Apparently so.
He was fired before the 5-day forecast.
Well,
he was just, wow. Hey, the voice changed in the middle of the...
5-day forecast. Yeah, it changed on Wednesday. What happened? He got through 2 days. They changed in the middle of the 5-day.
Let's go to Debbie on Long Island. Debbie, I know we have to take a break, but this is very important to us because we love hypocrites, and Al Roker is one of the biggest ones today. Debbie, go ahead.
Hi, good morning. My name is Debbie. Listen, I am epileptic. In fact, I had a seizure last night, and I was just driving my boyfriend to work in the morning.
Well, Al Roker thinks it's hilarious to have seizures, so.
You're rolling on the floor. You can't even get up and go to the computer.
Shaking. Hopefully you got a family member that could dial the NBC switchboard for you.
I was just explaining to my boyfriend how scary it is, and this guy's joking around about it. How dare he?
Debbie's got one of those sexy, voices.
Yeah.
You got one of those,
I was actually on the show a week ago about when you guys were talking about how you should show cleavage at work.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
Good.
And you know what? But like I said, about this whole epilepsy thing, that's not something that somebody should joke about. If somebody would actually say something like that to my face, I think I would go and cry. And then I would, probably end up punching the person in the face because that's not something I would have to deal with.
Well,
this shouldn't be a double standard. Racial or not racial, if you're making fun of somebody, it's messed up.
Like that. Hey, look, you want to, especially when you're going to stand on a soapbox and pontificate about morality with humor, to a guy whose job it is to be funny.
Right.
Your job is not to be funny, stupid.
Yeah.
Your job is to tell us the weather.
Tell the
You're
weather.
legitimate media. He's
That's-
legitimate media.
That's why if this was just some guy that said this, I wouldn't even give it a second thought. But when this guy got up on his soapbox and it collapsed under his weight, and he got another soapbox, a stronger one,
a metal one,
and got up there and just started calling for the firing of Don Imus over what Imus said. When you got someone like that, you need to then put them under the microscope and.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Don't mistake this for O&A sincerity as far as epilepsy goes.
No, we should.
Please.
We think you should be able to make fun of everything. But now Al Roker has learned the hard lesson that this stuff happens.
Well, NBC switchboards, again, be polite and just talk about the point. You know, I'm not saying attack them, but just tell the truth about how despicable what he said was and maybe mention the sponsor. It's 212-664-4444. That's NBC here in New York. And, he wants to say that Imus shouldn't say things and he shouldn't make reprehensible comments and then not even be a man like Imus was and apologize.
Right. I can't say it enough. I know I've said it quite a few times. It is the most insincere, try to get out of trouble excuse for an apology I've ever heard from a public figure. This thing, he didn't even fess up to what he said.
Nope.
And then he said, if you were offended, hey, look, I didn't expect anyone to be offended. But if you were, now I'll throw you a bone and apologize even though I didn't say anything about epilepsy. Like he dodged the whole goddamn thing. Where this guy should have gone on there, and after what he said about Imus, he should have been on his knees begging for forgiveness.
Right. And he said we were joking about the logo, not about epilepsy.
No.
Then why would you
That's how it started. That was the setup to the joke.
Well, here's the apology. Here's the apology again.
I do want to take care of one thing, though. Yesterday at this time, we were talking about that 2012 London Olympics logo and how hideous it was, and how people were being suggested that they were having epileptic seizures by this thing. And I started joking about it, and I want to make this clear. I was not joking about epilepsy or anybody who suffers from epislepsy. We understand and know that is a serious affliction and would never joke about that. Joking about the logo,
never.
Not about epilepsy.
You did. You're a liar.
Offended by that, I heartily and really humbly apologize.
Hardly apologize.
Who suffers from that affliction in their family? So if you were offended, I apologize.
How about I dishonestly apologize?
Yeah. Let's take a look. Show you what's going on.
Play the line again. Play the line again. And you tell me this isn't him goofing about epilepsy. This is him goofing on the logo.
Yeah, let's get these two clips up on our website, will you?
Yeah. And a little update on a story we told you about yesterday. Remember that controversial Olympic logo for the 2012 Olympics in London? Well, some folks have complained that the campaign actually sent them into epileptic seizures. Others say it's just downright ugly. Well, we asked you to weigh in on our website in an informal poll. And those of you who could get up off the floor after shaking around, you were able.
And, the people that are laughing, they should be fired
too for laughing.
Trust me.
Egging him on.
He said about Bernard Gurk, he said needs to be canned as well. McGurk is just as guilty, often egging Imus on.
Egging him? That sounded like egging.
If you listen to that first clip, when he first says, when he's giving the facts, saying sent them into epileptic
seizures.
You can hear somebody
They're
laughing
already
in the background.
giggling.
So they're giggling and laughing. So whoever was there that day should all be fired, if you follow the Imus rules.
Well, the idea of somebody being sent into a seizure and maybe like that guy's mother falling and breaking their neck, apparently is very funny to these people if a logo can
Sure it is. Why not make a joke about cancer?
How about AIDS?
Or heart disease or AIDS, right. Go ahead. Make an AIDS joke, Al. Let's see how far you get with that.
Let's say hi to Lauren in Jersey. Lauren, we got to take a break, but go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you I have epilepsy, and I didn't even hear of this until my boyfriend called me and was like, put on O&A, they're talking about seizures, and I really think it's disgusting that even his apology, the tone of his voice doesn't even sound sincere.
Right. Right.
He's like, if you were offended and epileptic seizures, like it's a joke. I mean, how would he like it from making fun of diabetes and heart disease and coronary disease?
Yeah, and AIDS.
You know, when he had the gastric bypass and he was so overweight.
How about this? How about tomorrow morning, because they always have those stupid Hello Kentucky signs outside the Today Show, why don't people show up with signs about epilepsy and stick them right in his fat face?
Good idea.
Show that on the network.
Good idea. Let's get some people together.
Yeah,
So I'm going to call NBC. Thank you so much for putting
Yeah,
out
that number is 212-664-4444. 212-664-4444.
And tomorrow morning you show up with signs outside that studio. Why not? I mean, he would be doing it if it was a racial thing.
Right. You know what? I think Dougie there on line 1. Hey, thanks a lot, Lauren.
Thank you.
I think Dougie on line 1 is a little confused, though. Dougie.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's up, man?
Yeah, first let me just say Al Roker is a fat ass. And on top of everything else, it would be hypocritical for me to say that Al Roker should be fired.
Right.
But I think because that he is Al Roker, he should be fired for what he said. If he's going to make a big deal about Imus, he should be fired for what he said. All right? It's a double standard.
I don't think he should be fired, but I think he should be held to the same standard as the people that or the person that he got fired. He had a very key role, from everything I read, a very key role in changing minds over at NBC as far as Imus went, and the reason that Imus got fired from MSNBC. So why should he not be put under the same scrutiny that Don Imus did? If he survives it and holds his job, that's it, whatever. But if he's held to the same standards and gets fired, that's just the world we live in today, and it's very hard. We have to adhere to rules as we sit here that are far further than they were years ago, far more reaching than just FCC violations, because of people like Al Roker. And standards that have been put in place, these moral standards that are put in place, the fear of offending people. Al Roker is one of the people in the forefront that is in the public eye that made this worse because he wanted Imus fired. So why shouldn't he be put against the wall and have to deal with the same standards and same criticism?
And I'll take it one step farther real quick, is the fact that Imus was doing his job. And Imus was supposed to be doing stuff like that. Al Roker did what was not part of his job description.
Imus was all about getting
off
edgy.
script.
He's real media.
Yep.
We got to take a break, but Jeff, you got to make it really fast because we really got to take a break. We're late.
Yo, am I on?
Yeah, you're on,
go,
man.
Jeff, real fast.
Yeah, no, this really does tick me off. I was never a big Imus fan. I didn't care less, but my brother committed suicide over 30 years of having epileptic seizures. I really would like you to put out that number so I can call.
212-664-4444, the NBC switchboard.
Man, the phones are lit. We'll go right back to the phones after this. It's Opie and Anthony. We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. We got Bear on the line. Very busy morning. We got Dennis Hoff calling in. We're giving away a date for Father's Day to a lucky father out there.
A date from where? From who?
Dennis Hoff, the Bunny Ranch out there in Nevada, where dating is legal.
Dating.
Nice. We want to do something nice for Father's Day. And this guy, Bear, had a very interesting story. And his wife was actually admits not having sex with him. She doesn't want to have sex
in
with
12
him.
years.
And he's a dad. He's got daughters, like 4 daughters.
Yeah.
It's like, why not help this guy out?
We'll talk to Bear in a second and Dennis Hoff in a second, but the phone's just lit because of the Al Roker situation. By the way, there's an email address today at msnbc.com. That'll help? All right.
Today at msnbc.com. That'll get your emails right to the people that need to see these emails about Al Roker making light of epilepsy.
Yeah.
This from the man, Al Roker, who went to the head of NBC. What's his name, the president?
Steve Kappas, that horse's
Steve
ass.
Kappas. He went to him and called for Imus's firing because of Imus's faux pas during his live broadcast.
And what was the big quotes from Al Roker's blog about the Imus thing again? The humor
God.
stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's all Al was trying to do is make a quick little joke, right?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
Add a little levity to the program. For one, I, for one, am tired of the diatribes, the humor at others' expense, the cruelty that passes for funny. This is what he said about Don Imus. Yeah.
And then a mere, 2 months later, he does the exact same thing. The beauty in it.
The I'm a good person who said a bad thing apology doesn't cut it, he said. And citing context within a comedy show is not an excuse. Yeah. This man went to the head of NBC, Al Roker went to the head of NBC, and called for Imus and Imus's staff
to be fired.
Called for them to be fired because the staff egged him on.
And all Imus was trying to do that day was entertain his audience, just like Al Roker was just trying to entertain the viewers of the Today Show with a quick little joke.
Little joke. They were talking about the Olympic logo in London that apparently might trigger epileptic fits. And Al Roker, do you still have the clip? Had this to say.
Listen when he mentions epileptic fits. Before the joke, somebody, in the back, was, as he could accuse Bernard McGurk of doing, egging him on.
Egging.
Listen to the laugh when epilepsy is mentioned.
And the laughs when he gives his punchline. All those people should be held accountable. It's just laughing, but my God, it's insensitive, and it reflects on the entire NBC news organization.
Yeah, what makes this different?
Right.
Really,
that's what Kappa said.
What does make it different?
It compromises the integrity of the news.
What does make it different?
NBC switchboard 212-664-4444. Just I want you to ask the tough questions. What makes this different than the Imus situation? Mr. Roker.
And a little update on a story we told you about yesterday. Remember that controversial Olympic logo for the 2012 Olympics in London? Well, some folks have complained that the campaign actually sent them into epileptic seizures. Others say it's just downright ugly.
You see the laugh there?
To weigh in on our website in an informal poll. And those of you who could get up off the floor after shaking around, you were able.
Oh, they're all laughing.
Hey,
fired.
Those of you who could get up off the floor after shaking around, that is a joke about epilepsy. It's not a joke about the logo.
Dude, she laughed. Listen to the titter when he said the epileptic seizures. So there was no joke. He said a fact. This might send people into epileptic seizures, and she laughed.
Where's the integrity of the news organization?
I want Al Roker to go on and now acknowledge how when you're trying to entertain an audience, you can slip up.
You might say things.
That's what I want to hear from Al Roker on TV.
I don't want to hear an insincere apology.
I was just trying to entertain my viewers. I thought that would be quick and funny, and I realized how insensitive that was.
Now I understand.
Imus did the same thing. Imus didn't go out to, be... he was just trying to entertain people that day.
He should absolutely go on and say, I now understand the position Don Imus is in, the position other live comedy shows are in when they're working off the cuff like that,
including the Opie and Anthony show.
Right, when they're working live, that things like this do happen, and I now see it in another light,
in a new light.
But he won't. He made up a phony excuse for an apology.
I'm sorry.
No, I was done.
There's nothing worse to me than when somebody makes a joke about something and says they weren't talking about that. It would be like Imus when he said what he said. If he had said, no, I meant nappy as in sleepy, and I was saying hose because I was comparing them to garden implements.
Right. Just completely phonying up the apology.
Would have been equal to the fraudulent crap that Al Roker said.
With that, let's say hi to Deborah. Man, it takes talking about epilepsy to get these phones ringing. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Deborah, what's up?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, guys, I work for the Epilepsy Foundation, and I am a parent of a teenager with epilepsy. So I'm really glad that you are giving a lot of time and attention to the issue of epilepsy and the insensitivity that it's portrayed in the media and in the general public. This is like the hardest thing that we fight against to educate the public is the stigma and the myths surrounding epilepsy.
Well, you know what? Al Roker doesn't think it's much of a big deal at all. So.
Hey, Al Roker was having a few laughs with his staff about epilepsy. And then, of course, he said he wasn't. But we have the audio. There's no getting away from it.
I think this is an opportunity for Mr. Roker to become our best friend and help us educate everybody about epilepsy. And
you should also educate people on how you can slip up when you're unscripted, just trying to entertain an audience.
Yeah.
Because, you don't think we know we have bullseyes on our freaking heads here? And then we'll get into the next controversy just because we're trying to entertain a radio audience? And that's why we're taking this very seriously and calling out people like Al Roker. And these hypocrites.
Another thing that's disgusting about it is people who tune into Imus know what they're going to get with Imus.
Yep.
You know what type of humor he does. You know it's a comedy show. The Today Show, you're not expecting to hear that. So people who weren't expecting to hear stuff like that were being assaulted.
This is definitely worse, believe it or not.
Absolutely
and
worse.
Not getting any attention. It was buried in the paper. I read this and went, oh, Al, I'm not letting this go. Because I remember what you said on your dumb blog.
So, Deborah, did you write down the phone number and the email address?
I have the phone number for NBC, and we'll be sending that along to the rest of our
And the email address, write that down too. It's today@nbc.com.
No, MSNBC.
MSNBC.com, I'm sorry. Today@msnbc.com.
I'd encourage everybody to ask Mr. Roker to do a little education on behalf of the epilepsy.
Or to step down. He should step
He should resign.
down.
He did exactly, not exactly. I think he did worse than Imus. He should.
Following his own set of rules, guidelines, and standards, he should step down. I'm not asking for his firing. I'm saying he's the one that was at the forefront of Imus getting fired at MSNBC, which led to his firing from CBS. So he should hold himself to the same standards and resign. Right. Because it's a reflection on the entire organization.
Yeah, we don't want
just
people
as he said.
We don't want people to be confused. We think you should be able to say whatever the hell you want on TV or radio within the the government guidelines. So. But, following what Al said, sure, then he should definitely resign. Thank you there,
Thanks,
Deborah.
God bless.
Let's go to Lee from Long Island. Lee, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
I just tried to call NBC. It's really funny. You really got it going. You can't even get through.
Of course
not. No, huh? Well, keep the pressure up.
Well, listen, I agree with you. I mean, this isn't about, and I feel bad for the people calling, and it's great that however you get this out, you get it out. This isn't about epilepsy. This is about the guy being a hypocrite. And he probably won't get fired because he's black.
Well,
I don't know if this is that much of a racial issue,
I'll tell
though.
you one thing, though. Here's where the racial angle comes in, and she raises a point. A black guy making a joke about about something that the special interest groups aren't vocal about is much safer, and that's why the media wasn't talking about it, because nobody cares.
And by the way, the people laughing,
we do.
The people laughing were Matt Lauer and Ann Curry.
Fired! Really?
Fired!
Matt Lauer found it funny, I guess.
Fired!
Where was his apology? Unbelievable.
I totally agree with you guys. This isn't about epilepsy. It's about the
hypocrisy.
Yep.
And it's also about being a legitimate news show or a show that is watched by people like that and making an epilepsy joke. So it is about that too.
You know what I read? I read complaints on the message boards that said we don't let the callers talk.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We take the calls. We let them say 3 words, and then all 3 of us just gang up and bombard and monopolize the conversation. And then they try to talk, and then we jump back in again.
Well, we get excited.
And as I'm reading it, I'm going, yeah, we do that.
You go ahead and talk. I apologize.
Okay.
Not you, bitch. Anthony.
Call. I just to say that, I totally agree with you guys. It's about the show. It's not about what he specifically said. It's about being a hypocrite.
David, what's up?
Same point 8 times. That's why we jump in.
That's why we jump in.
That's why we talk over the callers, you dumb message board asses.
We got to direct you.
Bunch of broken.
This is not about the thing. Start from beginning. This is not about the thing. We know.
Half these callers are in a rowboat with one paddle. Jesus. Get another paddle. Let's move forward.
Is that funny?
In a circle.
How many times was she going to say it's not about the epilepsy, it's about hypocrisy? We got it, bumper sticker.
All right, we're going speed round here. David, go.
Is that funny?
We're speed rounding. Go.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, yeah, I was just calling to say that the girl should laugh. The joke was halfway funny. She shouldn't have a problem laughing. It's just Al who should be held to those standards. It was his blog that
right.
made him fired. But the joke was halfway funny.
Well, yeah, I don't care about the. I don't really care that he made that joke. Who cares?
The point with her laughing is simply that he was saying that Bernard McGurk was egging on, and we're saying, hey, man, I mean, to me, they're egging Al on. Why shouldn't they be held to the standards he held Imus to?
Right.
That's all we're saying today.
That's exactly right. Except that she wasn't the one that went to the head and wanted Imus fired. It was him.
Right. We know.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
Okay. Yeah, I hope people understand the point we're trying to make today.
Yep.
Jennifer in Philly, what's up?
Hey, I love you guys. I've been waiting for the Al Roker thing to come up again. Always been a big fan of the Today Show. Never a fan of Imus until Al Roker started the blog. If I don't like Imus, I won't turn him on. That's what kind of show he is. But Al Roker, I can't tell you the number of times he's had to apologize for inappropriate comments.
Has he really?
I would love a list of other things he had to apologize for. That would be wonderful. Because we're not letting this one go.
No.
So sick of the
wish I could
hypocrites
think of-
out there.
Nope.
Wish I could think of specifics, but I used to love them. Now I hate them, and I think Imus should be back on the air now.
Well, somebody should show up tomorrow morning at the Today Show, like an epilepsy foundation or something like that, because they have these live shots, and they're all clowning around, and let's see if they show you on television. And like a bunch of fat housewives going, hello, New Hampshire. Let's see if they show a real sign with something he said.
Let's go to Jack. Jack, what's up?
Not much, brother. I just wanted to let you know, man, I already called Al Roker, or called the office and went to the voicemail. Just gave my great disdain for Al Roker, seeing that I'm an investor. And I watch MMBC every day, and I purchase their sponsors' products, but not anymore.
And make sure people understand that, you read his blog, and he did exactly what he was writing about in his blog about Imus.
Exactly.
I mean, exactly. You can't even, it's not even open for interpretation.
Nope.
Let's go to Shannon in Niagara Falls. Shannon, what's up?
Hi, this is Shannon. I had just called the NBC, and they're actually not even accepting the phone calls or the complaints. They're putting us straight through a voicemail.
Because they're probably like, those Opie and Anthony's are at it again.
Well, today, today at MSNBC.com, they have to see the emails piling up. And you know what? They still know you're calling.
Right.
Even if they're putting you through a voicemail, they still know that you're calling.
Right. And ask and go, we just want Al Roker to go on TV and explain why this is different than the whole Imus thing that went down, that he was really adamant about.
And we know our pests are able to get other email addresses that might be pertinent to the situation.
Yep.
Our pests are very, very resourceful. So perhaps a few of those can get on the message boards. So they could be informed on how outraged some of these people are at what Al Roker said, and he should be held to the same standard.
And Matt Lauer and Ann Curry are guilty as well.
Yes, they should be held to the same standard too. Laughing at his joke. What does that do to Matt Lauer's credibility and the credibility of NBC News? My goodness.
If it had been AIDS, and he had made an AIDS remark, would she have laughed at the mention of
An AIDS joke? Could you imagine Al Roker making an AIDS joke?
Why not?
Christ on a pony, it would be over, Johnny.
All right, we got to take a break to catch up a little bit. Bear, Staten Island, can you hold through the break?
You got it.
We're going to get an update from you next. All right. And I don't know if we have time for Dennis Hoff, but we can promote the thing and get Dennis on tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah, during
I
the
think
week.
that's what we're going to have to do because the show is just flying by right now. It's Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony. 92.3.
What a day, huh?
How great is this contest, man?
It's Opie and Anthony. Yeah, we have a great contest. Father's Day is sometime soon.
Yeah, some people just kind of...
I lost track. I know it's coming up, though, I guess.
This is the Father's Day Bunny Ranch giveaway, Friday, June the 15th. The lucky winners are going to receive a trip to the Moonlight Bunny Ranch for Father's Day for a date with a lovely lady. We're going to speak with Dennis Hoff. I think tomorrow, talk to Dennis to talk about the event and see who he has lined up for Friday's show. And you can email Travis, Travis at foundfreemusic.com if you have an interesting story. And the prizes are going to be airfare for a dad and son to fly to the Bunny Ranch from anywhere in the country. The approximate cost, that's like $700 to $1,000. Car service to and from Reno Airport in a limo. Winners get VIP suites at the Bunny Ranch for 2 nights and 3 days.
Oof.
Food and drinks.
2 nights?
2 nights and 3 days?
I need 2 hours.
Wow.
And then I want to go see some sights.
Dennis is a promotional genius. He understands. He's not going to be cheap about it. He
No.
gets it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Monogram robes and T-shirts and hats, and the winners.
And the dry cleaning for them afterwards?
Brand new boxers. Your old ones will be burned. and both winners are furnished with VIP passes.
Yeah.
Approximately $1,000. That's worth. Just
man.
I can't get past the 2 nights.
2 nights, 3 days. Wow.
Anyway, and people out there are like, oh, how cute. No, we're looking for fathers that are possibly married. We don't care. No morals here.
Don't care as long as they're lonely.
That's how we met Bear last week, and he's on the phone right now. So let's get a Bear update from Staten Island. It's Bear, everyone.
Bear, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
And his wife Louise.
How's Louise? How's Wheezy?
How's the crazy cat lady doing?
Oh, please.
Did you? Now, Bear.
For everybody out there, really fast, a quickie on Bear.
Bear and Louise are a couple. You've been married how long?
Almost 18 years.
Almost 18 years. They have kids.
4 kids.
4 kids. And she just does not give him any sex anymore.
Haven't had sex in what, 12 years, Bear?
12 years.
12, no. Actually, it's probably closer to 13. It's when my 12-year-olds were conceived, my twins.
After a certain amount of time, it really doesn't matter. So, we're looking a very long time, 12, 13 years, no sex.
After a week, it might as well be 10 years. Who keeps track after?
Doesn't matter. And she doesn't even care. We talked to her, and the most telling thing, I was thinking about this couple over the weekend, and me and my girlfriend kind of were talking about him for a little bit, and she was like, when his wife Louise, when you asked her, do you still love Bear? And she went, she just made a sound. My girlfriend was like, that was just like, oh my God,
you
so
gotta appreciate
telling.
the honesty, though.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to BS about it. She's like, I'm comfortable. I raise cats. I got a big house. I got a job and 4
I got
kids.
big house and kids. I'm busy. I can't think about that kind of thing. So she doesn't even, there's not an iota of sexuality left in that woman. She does not want any sex.
No.
So it's I guess silly to say ask you if you got anything over the weekend.
No. Let me tell you, I drive a gasoline tanker at night.
I would careen it into an abutment.
I would probably
I was married to Louise.
I would probably make it really good and go right for the preschool.
Just drive right through.
Why not?
Yes, sir.
I work and I take care of my kids.
See, that's what he turns into with this woman.
This poor guy.
That's exactly what it is.
This guy.
I want to leave, but I can't. I got to raise my daughters.
This guy's a bunny. This guy's made for the bunny ranch.
Yep.
They're hot chicks. They're nice.
Well, we're talking to the front runner right now, Jimmy.
Yeah, you are the front runner, Bear, because if
contest to win, though,
if any guy I've ever spoken to needs to go out and have the company of another woman out there in Vegas, see a little excitement, it's you, because that wife of yours, that Louise, she is asexual. There is nothing sexual about her.
No, because we asked her, and she's like, look, I want him tall, dark, and tattooed, remember?
Yeah, but that's like that's like a womanly soap opera fantasy. She wants like a Fabio fantasy where he comes up on a horse and takes her away or something. This guy, Bear, he just wants the company of a beautiful woman for the night. You know what I mean? That's what he wants. She wants some kind of romance and all this bull crap that goes along with it. And meanwhile, she's just in the house with the kids and the cleaning and gives her husband no bit of sexuality or anything.
The beauty, too, is if Bear wins this date at the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, his wife already said that she would welcome him back home and with open arms.
She's fine with whatever happens on your date.
Hell, I'll walk there, guy.
He doesn't even care about airfare.
Hey, Bear, are you
walk?
Can you come in Friday?
I'm sorry, sir?
Can you come in Friday?
Come in? Yeah.
All right, yeah, because we're going to have some of the girls from the Bunny Ranch, and we're going to have a little, I don't know, maybe Q&A or something, then we're going to decide who.
That'd be great.
But,
little meet and greet.
You're definitely the front runner right now.
I'm definitely coming. Just got to give my boss notice, that's all.
Yeah, clear Friday.
Okay.
And come on in.
Won't be a problem.
Let's just put it, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe you should, yeah.
I have no idea.
A guy like
well, the girls will be here.
Yeah.
And,
the girls will be here.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks for saving my ass. Whatever. Bear, we'll see you Friday.
A guy
Yes,
like
Norton?
Bear is perfect for the ranch. I've never even been there.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me, as this relationship is unraveling before my eyes, and it is.
What?
It's awful.
Our relationship, Jimmy?
No.
I actually, my relationship with you and with Anna is one of the longer, more consistently loving relationships I've had.
Yes.
This is love?
Oh, yeah. It is. We spend 5 hours a day together.
Oof.
At 3 or 5. And we talk
Preferably
a lot.
3.
And I prefer 4. We're going to have to agree to disagree. I think the ranch is perfect, though, because, like, they're not jaded. They're like, these are not girls that are kept there by force or by some nasty pimp. They can go whenever they want.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Go. Bye.
Yeah.
They keep most of their money. It's like, it's just a different vibe, man.
So tomorrow we're going to take more phone calls from the miserable fathers out there?
Yes,
One lucky
please.
father will be flown to the Bunny Ranch and get all that stuff Jimmy was just talking about. And Dennis Hoff's going to call the show tomorrow, and we're going to hype this thing.
You don't love me?
Huh?
You don't love me?
You're all right.
Who doesn't love Jimmy?
Look at this cheek.
I know. It's kissable. What's happening, Jimmy? Is the relationship unraveling a little bit?
No, things are good.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
Maybe we should be sending you to the Bunny Ranch.
You know,
won't
Jimmy,
need to, dude. Believe me, I will be out there.
the worst thing about you with in a relationship is you don't understand that the people around you kind of
are rooting you
take a liking to who you're with. And then all of a sudden we have to deal with the fact that there's problems, and then you start worrying whether you're going to be seeing a lot of this person anymore.
Let the people around me argue with her. Let them do it. If they want to step in while I'm arguing, I can relax and they can handle the arguing part.
Just like tag team.
Oh, yeah.
You get a little tag off and then walk away and go to the bar or something.
I love when you break up with someone. You just got to cut all time. Well, we had a good relationship, me and you.
You're done. Don't talk to my friends. Don't call anybody. My family's dead to you. Goodbye.
Yeah, we did get along, but goodbye. Goodbye. I don't go out with her anymore, so I don't need to see you anymore.
See you.
Goodbye. Bear, so what's the update? Nothing since we last talked to you?
Nothing.
No, he's still in hell.
All right. And the wife's been cool?
Hell, exactly.
What did she think of her time on the Opie and Anthony show?
Oh, she thinks it's a goof, but she doesn't really. I mean, this is to me, it's a serious issue.
Certainly is.
It's no joke, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to be a part-time father. I want to raise my kids, and once they're old enough, self-sufficient, then maybe I'll be gone unless things change.
Bear, what's going to happen if you do win this trip? Now, we're going to see if there's any other fathers out there for the rest of the week here. Say you win the trip, and then all of a sudden she puts her foot down and says, "No way." Then what happens?
I don't think she will. I really don't think.
But if she did, would you tell her to go screw and you would just go anyway?
Oh, yeah, I would go.
Yeah, he's going regardless if he does win this one.
I deserve it. I work my butt off.
Bear, have you given any thought to what it'll be like? Seriously, fantasize, maybe shut your eyes, that you're sitting there. You're sitting across from a beautiful girl.
Potential date.
Yeah, on a date, and maybe you're eating dinner or you're holding, she's reached down maybe under the table to touch your leg. Have you given any thought to the excitement factor that's going to be like?
Yeah, I did about 15 minutes ago. I did.
Oh yeah, cleaned up and went to work. Oh,
I've been thinking about it since I talked to you guys.
Yeah, see, this guy is raring to go, man.
It's only fair, but it's gonna be tough to beat Bear as far as this contest goes.
Oh yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah, you never know. We'll take your pathetic stories tomorrow.
Pathetic.
All right, Bear.
All right, Bear.
We'll be in touch. All right.
We'll see you. Looking forward to meeting him on Friday. That's for sure.
Yeah, we got to wrap up the show live, and then BCN will end around 20 minutes from now. So, what the hell is that about? We got to get to the bottom of that.
Wrapping up with the
what do we got?
Al Roker. If you're disgusted by his comments and you want to call the switchboard 212-664-4444. But we ask you don't be filthy about it. Just state what's on your mind about it.
Yeah.
Being, it being awful what he said.
Be professional and get to the point about the fact that there's a double standard, the fact that he should be held accountable, that his comments reflect on the entire news organization over there, just as Imus did, and what's going to be done about it.
Yeah, and the beauty of our past, when it comes right down to it, they do show their intelligence. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Today at MSNBC.com. Today at MSNBC.com. Or go to Roker's website and let him know directly what you think.
Mailbag at Roker.com.
Yeah, any of those.
It used to be feedbag at Roker.com.
No, that's what he is. He's a mailbag.
You think over the weekend he was eating a salad with no dressing going, I think I'm going to skate.
He spritzed a couple of squirts of dressing on.
And just
Just 2.
And just a couple of croutons because he couldn't help himself.
What he likes to do is put
croutons.
one piece of popcorn on each side of his fat mouth and then spray, I can't believe it's not butter, onto his tongue until it lubricates it and he swallows it. Fat head he still has.
Oh, he's dreaming of all that fried food that Tony Soprano was eating last night. But he's there with his salad. Going, I think I skated. I think they're going to accept my apology.
Yeah, I think I made it through that epilepsy thing. Boy, that was close, huh?
Good news. They buried it in a Saturday paper. No one will pay attention to it when it comes Monday.
We don't like hypocrisy over here.
That's right.
That's for sure. Al. So if you're going to go after someone and have them thrown out of their livelihood, you better watch what you say and how you say it and how you apologize for it, because people will take notice. Like us and the pest and our listeners and people with epilepsy and people with loved ones that have epilepsy, they're going to be writing and calling NBC. Good luck to you, Al. Good luck.
I love you guys.
Hey, why don't you give away some virus tickets? Make Travis work a little late today.
You didn't tell me you love me. Anthony did.
He's going to break a nail on the phones.
I love you.
Because he's a girl.
What?
Get it?
How come we don't love each other? I love you.
What?
But
tell Jimmy you love him.
No.
Why?
I only say that to my girlfriend.
But it's a different kind of love.
No.
I mean, with her, it's loving and caring. And with me and you, it's just a couple of men taking out our aggression the way men do. Mono on mono.
With you, it's a lot of rashes due to whiskers. I don't want that kind of love.
A lot of man-to-man sweating and avoided eye contact.
Whisker rashes.
Traveling virus.
Hey, it's Saturday, Jones Beach. Anthony and I are from Long Island. This is the first thing we've done on Long Island in years. It's like going home. We can't wait for Jones Beach this Saturday.
You can get $10 tickets, man. The fans have been amazing and loyal. I've never seen the phone explode like that.
Yep.
People calling for tickets. You've been very loyal to us through some weird times, so we want to say thank you. We really want you guys to come out Saturday night. We have a great lineup. There's going to be the whole O&A Village. We got Stephen Lynch, Stupid Patrice, myself, Bob Kelly. I'm going to re-break Fat Boy's knee on stage.
Nice.
I'm gonna. Here's the lineup really fast. You got Bob Kelly, Bob Saget, Frank Caliendo, Jim Norton, Louis C.K., Otto and George, Patrice O'Neill, Rich Voss, Stephen Lynch, Ant and I on stage doing some crazy things. The Village, the tailgating.
Videos.
And Tom Chiasano's tie.
Oh.
We'll be there.
Yes.
All right, so we'll give a pair of tickets to a random caller right now, 877-212-5762. The tickets, I guess, are still $10, which is unbelievable. Go to Virus Tour, one word, on MySpace for all the info.
Is that it?
Well, it just seems more comfortable to talk over the music. It gets awkward when the music ends. I could say it, Earl Douglas.
Well,
what happened? Earl Douglas. What? Sopranos ending? Yeah, we don't have that bit figured out yet, but we want you to come up with your own Sopranos ending, maybe with video animation or...
No, he was saying that we should end like the Sopranos. But how would we do that?
You want to...
How would we do that?
Well, Don't Stop Believing. What?
Oh, we're dumb. We should have done some Don't Stop Believing. Good idea, Hawk. After the music stops, why don't you mention it at 10:40 on the phone? Like bite your nose off and spit it in your face. Stupid.
He was happy, though. He was all happy. The music ended, and he's, like, pointing at the screen.
No, he means he wants to eat onion rings. I'd love to stab you right now.
You think Meadow got out of her parking spot by now?
I hope so.
It would have been more exciting watching Steve homoerotically shave his eyebrows.
All right, there was so much today.
See you tomorrow, folks.
We would have done another hour, but for some reason, Tom just will not allow that, unfortunately. And we could have talked about Paris, talking to Barbara Walters, and all sorts of good stuff.
Tomorrow we'll do it.
Her crying on the back of the cop's car.
All that stuff. We didn't even get to today.
She didn't look like she did in the porn movie.
Nah, it's Opie and Anthony. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show.